starting stream. Why is it not live? Okay, there we go. Normally it's just like 2 or 3 refreshes. That's why I was like panicking. Hi everyone. Hi everyone. We're back. We're back. Hold on.
Chatty Matty.
Hold on. We're back. We're back. Oh my god, my heart hurts. Thank you, Roots. I love you. Did you actually do anything in particular, or did you just wait until it was back up?
It's mostly just waiting and just having a new internet. I wonder if I take away my phone, if it will...
Oh wait, is it just up with your phone again?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Roots.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Will Chatty Matty have treats?
He has treats? He has treats for Roots the Raccoon? What do you offer Roots the Raccoon? They only want the highest quality garbage. We're back. We're back. Oh my god, hi all my lovely raccoons. I'm so sorry. Wait, sea shanties and thought, can I submit the outlines that intersect with this chapter? That, yeah, literally as soon as I was typing in the thing about like, oh, we're gonna fight the cryptid hunters now, then the internet kind of came back. Well, Roots fixed it. You did like a hotspot with your phone. Is that what you did?
Yeah.
How much phone battery do you have?
Like that.
Okay. Are you okay sacrificing your phone for the next hour or so?
Do it for the raccoons.
Do it for the raccoons? Okay. I love you,
Look.
Roots. Roots, there's one slice of cake left of my birthday Valentine's Day cake.
Yeah.
Do you want the last slice of cake? Okay. Well, I love you. Oh my god, Roots, my heart hurts. Everyone say bye to Roots. They're going back. They're going back to their room, to their little raccoon hidey hole. And all the elite trash is Roots. Yes, yes, yes. I offer a sock with 2 holes in the toe. Oh, that's some high quality stuff right there. That's pretty nice. The moment you posted your Anakin gif, yes. Yes, everyone say thank you, Commander Roots. They saved the day. The cryptid hunters are scared of Anakin, hopefully. Is that gonna be the bit now? Every time I have tech support issues, it's really the cryptid hunters. Oh my god, genuinely guys, I'm so sorry. I hate when there's tech support issues. I get like really nervous and like anxious. All hail Roots, the raccoon god? Oh my goodness. I poke fun at Roots all the time. Like, why do the raccoons like you more? I'm the one hanging out with you guys for hours. But it's always Roots that's cool. Roots is the cool one. Oh my, hydrate or dehydrate? Sure. Here's your sippy. I'm not even gonna complain about it. Here's your sippy. Oh my goodness. And then posture checks? Okay. Everyone, we're gonna, well, first of all, we're gonna shake off all the stress and anxiety that stream stopping working causes us. It's been a while, T. It has been a while. Welcome on in. It's good to see you. You take a sippy of soda because it's all I got. That's all good. It's all good. So but anyway, we're gonna shake off all that stress. We're gonna relax our shoulders. We're gonna unshrimp our backs. We're gonna check our neck posture. We're gonna move our head back and forth a little bit. And hopefully now we feel better and there won't be any more tech issues. In your defense, you like me more? That's right. See. That's because Roots hasn't given me feedback yet. But Roots is awesome still. Yeah, it's just so funny. I think even in Author Relic, we have a official fanfic for Cryptid and Roots, right? And in the fanfic, Sir Author Relic, that's the author of our first official Cryptid Roots fanfic, made Roots very, very like cool and badass and confident and like thinking logically and stuff. And in reality, it's like, no, I'm the big sibling. I normally make all the decisions like that for the business. And Roots normally just follows along. It's so funny. You fucked to the max because you got a synthesis paper due in 2 hours. Oh no. Help me lock in, Cryptid. Okay. First of all, Lock the fuck in. Get a drink, get ready, get your paper. Get your Word document up, get your Google document up, whatever it is. Get it, lock in, lock the fuck in. Get all distractions out of the way. If I'm a distraction, get me out of the way. Hire a sniper assassin to like take me out, whatever works. See, I'm out of the way. Oh, you gotta lock in. You gotta lock into. You got this. It will be hard, but you can do it. I believe in you. Dude, lock in. Feel the sudden urge to make a raccoon race? Yes. Yes. You can have a little raccoon and possum races, see? And they can be at war. They can be at war for thousands of years. Find you are taking your kind of garden typing test and lock in. See, everyone else in chat too is telling you to lock in. We're all rooting for you, T. You got this. But you gotta lock in. You gotta do it. Chatty Matty, hi. Hello, and welcome on in. I hope this is a nice, comfy, cozy place for you to hang out in. We just got offline and we just came back because we had a little bit of tech issue there with the internet. But we're back in. We're reading some stories. We're reading chapter 4 from our user in chat here called Sir Chatty Matty. And at the end of it, I'll give some critique and feedback. So if that's your kind of jam, then welcome on in. You also got to read 8 poems before tomorrow too. That one's not as hard because you can read a couple poems tonight and you can read like the rest of the poems like on the bus there or like on the way outside class over breakfast. Like you can do a couple of them. It's okay. You got this. That sounds so cool. Thank you so much. And hey, if you're also a writer, then there is a Discord link. You're welcome to join us and become one of the official raccoons here. It's a free Discord. It's all free. You can submit your own writing. The only rules are no generative AI and no spicy, sexy smut scenes because I get too embarrassed reading those on stream. And otherwise, then you'll be added to the queue. And when I get to you, I'll check that you're on stream. And then I'll read your stuff here and I'll also give back feedback and critique. And this is never like a mean or like a harsh place to get critique. I know a lot of people here, I'm sometimes their very first critique partner ever. So normally for new people who submit, it's just 1 to 2 pieces of critique that I think would help with your future writing endeavors. You get so nervous when people read your work. Yeah, it is really scary. And for a lot of people here, again, I'm their very first critique partner ever. And that's like extra scary, right? Because it's even read on stream. It's read on stream, which is like extra scary. And some people here are super brave and they do it anyways. And they let it be read on stream. And they hear what me and chat have to say. But I think this is actually a really good community here. We take it really seriously. We generally only ever give advice that we're like, yeah, this will help elevate you to the next level of your writing, whether it's as a hobby or a fanfic writer or for professional stuff in the future. Whatever you want to do, we try to keep that in mind. And this is a really nice place. But if you don't want to ever submit, that's totally valid too. But you're welcome to hang out and chat and give your own feedback to all the writers that we're going to read from. You attach your book covers to my work too, so you could see the cover I made for the books. That's super awesome. That's so creative. Oh my goodness. In the Discord, there's even a part for like for stuff like that. Some people have submitted their artwork that they're working on. One of our raccoons in the chat too, they're actually a comic writer, so they write their own scripts and they do their own illustrations for the comics too. So they actually show like some of their character drawing processes. Some people draw their own book covers. It's really, really cool. Your first critique partner was my mom, who literally started refusing to read my work because of how many grammar mistakes were in them in the beginning. Oh no, that's so... I know that must have been like really hard for younger you, but that's also a little bit funny. I probably submit my fantasy called Kevlar. That would be awesome. And hey, I'm excited to see it from you in the future. I can't promise I'll read it today. We have kind of a long queue. But I'm so excited to be able to read your work in the future. That sounds amazing. It's very funny now. Did not help though. Yeah. Having that harsher feedback in the beginning can be really, really detrimental. That's why normally for newcomers, again, it's the little kids club. It's just 1 or 2 pieces of critique. If you, for all my new raccoons, see me giving more pieces of critique to the person on screen here, this is Sir Chatty Matty in chat. This is their piece. Chatty Matty has submitted multiple times, and I know they can take the feedback and the critique. So you might see more critique for Chatty Matty because they are looking to be professionally published, and they've had critiques before and they can handle it, and they put in forth the work, and it doesn't hurt their feelings. Chatty Matty's really awesome about getting critique and applying it really, really well. I can take it. My mind is ready. Yeah, Chatty Matty's really awesome about it. But I don't. If you see me doing a couple of critiques here, I don't want you to be worried that that's how yours is gonna go. When it's a new person here, it's just 1 or 2 pieces of critique max. That's all. You have a writer friend who I asked to read my dark romance, and she demanded that I write more because I only had the first 3 chapters done, plus the prologue. Hey, that's some good feedback, right? That's exciting. You have your very first fan. I separate my personal feelings from what's needed, and I think that's really, really good. That's a really good mindset to have. But I definitely, when I was getting more critique partners and having my work critiqued more, I'm so busy now, so I haven't. But when I was getting my work critiqued, that was the kind of mindset. We back. Yeah. Roots had to fix it all. I let everyone know in the Discord that we're back. Oh my god, Bash, it's always so embarrassing when there's tech issues. I feel so. The internet just for this computer stopped. Like everything else in the house still has internet. It's literally just this, and it just can't connect to the internet randomly. I don't know what that means. So Roots just made a hotspot on their phone and connected it. That's the way we're working around it. Hello and welcome to Cryptid. I hope you have fun hanging out with us. Oh, by the way, if we do get to mine, feel free to go hard on what I wrote. I know I've improved since I wrote the fic, but it's still good to know where I can still improve. That's a good mindset. I decided you're my friend now. That's what I say here. I'm not a professional editor yet. I am in a course right now to become a developmental editor. But before all this, I'm just your little blue friend on your screen, trying to give you feedback and critique on your writing so we can all be better writers now. That's the vibe here. Reads and judgmentees. Yeah. Okay, so let's keep reading now that we're back up and everything's working again on stream. So Barry would catch up. She refused to let the serpent out of her mind. Oh, you already fixed this line. I just mentioned this right when stream crashed, and stream's back up. You've already fixed the line. See, Chatty Matty's really fast with these line edits. I really think so. I'm a developmental editor. I've offered to, in the future, when I'm done with my course, be a developmental editor for Chatty Matty in order to have a review on my work. So Chatty Matty's going to be my first little client, so I can get a review on how good I am at a developmental editor. But generally, for line edits and copy edits, Chatty Matty's like fucking lightning fast. It's crazy. And you accepted it without a second thought. Yeah, I think because I never do anything like mean, like, oh, you should just do this because this is what I like. Like, I generally point things out, like, oh, these 2 words are very close to each other, similar. You should just fix that. Or oh, hey, this is just a slight spelling error, right? I mostly point out like tiny little spelling and line edits when I can for you. And then for you, I think I've mentioned this before, the main developmental thing I work at is just making sure the characters feel plausible. I'm mostly just checking your characters. But otherwise, your sense of pacing is actually really good. A lot of your plot stuff so far. Granted, we're only in chapter 4 now, but so far, I haven't had to catch too many things besides character things for you. So that's when I say, like, when I read more and more of your guys' stuff, if you are a multi-time submitter, I pick up on your writing style. I pick up on what things to pay attention for you to help you guys out. And when you guys have improved, some of the writers I've already seen after their 3rd or 4th thing they submitted, I've realized you guys have improved a bit. Like some people I've mentioned in multiple works, oh, you still need to work on dialogue. Oh, you still need to work on pacing. And then their 3rd or 4th submission, I recognize their dialogue is better, or their pacing is better, or insert whatever thing. And I'm like, oh, like this is better. You've been working on it. This has improved. I notice your guys' improvements when you guys submit a couple times. It's a really nice thing to see. But now the serpent's still in her brain. The noise of Athena City pressed around her now, but it felt far away, muted beneath the steady pull of curiosity. She pushed deeper into the streets, chased flashes of bronze scales until her eyes caught on something else, towering. At the city's heart, a spear-shaped skyscraper stabbed the sky. Oh, hold on. Oh, that was a lot of S sounds. Kashi has appeared already too. I also need a sense of how the princess comes off too. She's coming up in this chapter. Okay. So in this one, this is what I was saying before. So skyscraper, stab the sky. Sky is repeated twice in the same paragraph, pretty close together. So I'm wondering if maybe we could replace the second use of the sky here at the end to something else. It could stab towards the clouds, stab towards, there's multiple suns in the setting you mentioned earlier, the suns. Just something a little bit different here. That way skyscraper and sky is not too closely repeated. Used to be a fast-paced meme, now I'm at a brisk walk. Stab the heavens. That's a nice one. See, I didn't even stress. That's a good one. Its spire gleamed like a celestial needle, ringed by star sailors docking and departing, sails shimmering like captured auroras. Closer to the base, ships rested in their berths, sleek ironwood hulls catching the sun's light. Skyscrapers scrape the clouds. Yeah, I think what Chatty ended up doing instead with the heavens works really good too. I like that one. Let's see. Where was I? Let me reset my lo-fi beats. Catching the sun's light, their silhouettes promising a plethora of untold stories. One ship drew her like a magnet. The pink gold letters of its name seemed to breathe with the light, and her mind spun with imagined voyages, racing past frozen nebulae, slipping through pirate blockades, skimming the burning edge of a newborn star. Makes more sense for my spear metaphor. That's a good point too. Her reverie broke when she collided with the edge of a gathered crowd, a knot of bodies packed tight, all faces turned toward a small open space in the street. Barry slipped between them, ignoring the cussing of a terracund she accidentally smacked in the face with her satchel. I don't know if we've had described what a terracund is. I'm not saying you have to. I'm just like making a mental note. I'm like, oh, a terracund. I don't think we've had that mentioned yet. In the face with her satchel. And then she saw them. Two humans, both with sun-kissed skin, but otherwise as different as fire and water. The first wore a beige coat over a crisp white shirt, a golden buckle catching the suns, her yellow bow tie like a burst of sunlight against the fabric. Jade eyes glimmered, lively and unrestrained. The second stood steady beside her in a soft pink blouse beneath a dark gold-trimmed jacket, a frilled pink tie delicate against the clean lines of her collar. One of her eyes was a deep sapphire whorl, the other silver like a storm-lit sea. So sapphire and silver. So in this world, I'm just clarifying. Oh, they're gnomes. Okay. So in this case, humans, because humans are different than the space elf races here. So humans in this world can have kind of still fancy eye colors. They can have a sapphire eye and a silver eye. Yes. Okay. I'm assuming the second is a blind eye. Yeah, I'm just clarifying. You know, it's not plot holes or anything yet. I'm just making sure. Hey, wait. Does me as a critique partner here, am I understanding the world? Am I getting all the correct info that I should be getting? The first woman, without preamble, drew a guitar from its case. Fingers shimmered with quiet mystique as she slung the strap over her shoulder, tapped her foot to a beat that seemed to exist only in her head. The second clapped in time, a slow smile bloomed, and the street's pulse shifted. The city itself paused to listen. The second clapped in time, a slow smile blooming, and the street's pulse shifted. I'm wondering, I know it's past tense. I wonder if that one should be present tense. Again, I'm not the best copy editor, but I'm wondering, would it sound more natural if it's the second clapped in time, a slow smile blooming, and the street's pulse shifted? I'm not quite sure. Question mark there. Then they began to sing. Their voices rapped together like wind and tide, weaved a melody that swelled and dipped in perfect rhythm. Barry felt it in her chest before she understood it. The music seeped into her bones, urged her to sway with it. Her lips moved before she knew why. The words rose to meet the tune as if they'd been waiting in her all along. The Maiden's Way. I'm not sure. I'm guessing since it's put a little different here, I'm guessing this is the title. And then this is the song. I did that to effectively slap her with the urgency to come up. Let's see, but okay, so Babika says there doesn't seem to be any tension or plot forward progress in this section so far. Just Barry wandering the streets in a sort of reverie, which gives the description a slow feel. You'll keep that in mind, and then to effectively slap her with the urgency coming up. Okay. My big thing so far, I'm gonna keep reading. I'm mostly just pointing out like little things, like there's little line things. I'm gonna save my developmental stuff, the big plot stuff, till I get to the end, just in case. But just as a little heads up, my first thought is, her mom, Tessie, was dying, was at the brink of death here. And then when we get to this place and we have to rush her to this mysterious healer to hopefully save her mom, it's actually Bridget who takes her to try and find this healer with this other half god, this demigod Z, and his lover Floria. So all these like super cool people, even Sunreal's gone, everyone's gone, and it's just Barry who just got distracted by a cool snake, even though her mom's dying, and then was distracted from the snake by these singers. So I'm like, I'm keeping in my mind. I'm like, does this make sense for Barry, with her mom kind of on the brink of death here, right? With her mom being so scarily, after this attack, being this ill. But I'm gonna keep reading. I'm gonna see if what happens. Why is the author, in this case Sir Chatty Matty, why is Barry here? What stuff are we getting introduced to? And then either my critique is valid, and then I'll try to think of ways like, okay, how can we rearrange this slightly to make it feel more natural and in character for Barry? Or my critique might be unfounded. I might keep reading and be like, oh, okay, yeah, this makes sense. This absolutely should be here, and I won't change it. I was keeping that in mind when I was editing initially. For my critique, or for Barry maybe, right, leaving Bridget to take care of her mom. Yes, let's. So I'm not gonna sing it, because I am not a singing VTuber. I do not have that talent. But let's kind of get a little sense here. What's happening? It is a little bit of a long section. My initial thought before reading is I'm wondering if we could have part of the song have some description, some action, and then the rest of the song happening kind of like in the background. Hi, Ten! Oh, you know what's so funny? I was talking about you earlier. We had some new raccoons joining, and they were sharing, like, talking about, like, they do their own art for their covers, for their books and stuff that they're working on. And I mentioned you. I'm like, oh, we actually have, like, a cool, like, really awesome comic writer. They do both the scripts for their comics and the artwork for it, and you can see their work in the Discord. And I was mentioning you about, I was talking about you. So it's so good to see you. But yeah, I was mentioning you earlier. So there might be some more people putting in their own artwork, their own art covers in the Discord soon. Isn't that exciting? So let's see here. She left behind the hills of home, row lads row, with sails unbound, with seas unknown, row lads row. I like this, very sea shanty like, very, very good so far. The sky was black, the stars were pale, the tide would rise, the wind would wail, and still she set a steady sail, row my bonny row. I like this so far. This sounds very plausible for a sea shanty. There we go. Castle wrote this for you. How cool. What a fun collab. Oh, the sea may break, the mast may bend, the world may fall to storm again. But she who sails where none have been shall find what none have known. No voice has called her to return, no hearth would glow, no light would burn. The gulls cried high, the wind ran free, and whispered, come follow me. Ah! Wait, I like that. The sky grew wide, the air turned thin, her hands were salt, her breath was wind, and every mile a new self born, a soul unchained, alone. Oh, the sea may break, the mast may bend, the world may fall to storm again, but she who sails where none have been shall find what none have known. The waves rose up, the night went blind, the sails were torn, the ropes unlined. The wind it laughed, the dark it swore, turn back, girl, you'll sail no more. It's a metaphor for Barry's coming journey. Again, when it's this long, we don't necessarily want a metaphor being this long. and uninterrupted. So I'm reading it. It is really, really cool. I do like it. I'm wondering if it should be broken up a little, but I'm gonna keep reading it before I give that feedback. Turn back, girl, you'll sail no more. Oh wait, did I even? Yeah. Turn back, girl, you'll sail no more. But though the sea would toss and tear, she gripped the wheel, she did not care. For fear is but a whispered dare to those who chase the tide. Oh, the sea did break, the mast did bend, the world has fallen to storm again. But she who sails where none have been shall find what none have known. The storm fell back, the air grew still, the dawn lay gold upon the hills. No flags were hung, no shores were crowned, no hands to pull her safely down. And yet she smiled, and yet she knew the skies stretched wide, the world was new. No greater treasure could shine through than all the miles behind. And then it repeats the chorus again. Shall find what none have known, shall left behind the hills of home, row lads row, with sails unbound the seas unknown, row lads row and row. So I do like it. I think the spacing, the paragraph spacing could be a bit better. For especially because even with songs, right, there are like paragraphs to mark like the choruses and the different verses. So just that's just a little like line edit note that should copy it, like, oh hey, like have some better paragraph breaks here. And I am with the initial thought, it is really cool and the song is really awesome. That Castle worked for you. You said it was Castle, right? Yeah. But I think we should have so, like a verse or two until like maybe the repeat of the chorus. Have that break, have something that Barry is doing, whether she sees the snake, whether she thinks more things about the singers, and then it continues with it. That's my gut reaction right now. As the final notes of the song rang out, Barry's gaze wandered through the crowd until she saw her, a girl. Not just anyone, something about her drew Barry in inexplicably. Break it up like you've been saying and I've been considering it. Yeah, but sometimes, remember, I'm not just always telling you advice too, I'm also explaining it to all the other raccoons in here too, to anyone else tuning in. Why am I giving this advice? How is that advice justified? Because we talk a lot about how can you tell when someone's giving you valid critique and when someone just like taking over a project or telling you to change things just because. So I think you're strong enough, right? You're on book 3 of this project and we're reading something all the way back from book 1, chapter 4. You've grown as a writer. You can kind of recognize some of those little fixes as soon as I mention them. But some of the new raccoons in here, yeah, I have no idea to differentiate how to differentiate that stuff. And that's why I explain why, especially with the Vigorette. I'm like, why should we do this? How can I back up why I'm giving my suggestion here? Because a lot of people will give critique and just be like, because that's what I want, because I say so, because I'm cool and you're not, right? And being able to justify why a change is better for what you want. Be right back. Landlord asked me to help him look for an air tag in his house. Okay, Sator's not doing side quest. Don't get kidnapped. Oh, that scared me. I'm like, why did it all turn pink? So anyway, now she sees a girl, inexplicably. This, as a little warning, as a reader, I've noticed she inexplicably gets distracted by the snake instead of her mom. Then from the snake, she's inexplicably distracted by the singers. And now from the singers, she's now inexplicably sidetracked again by this girl. So sometimes we're having Barry move through the plot to the next important thing in the plot in a very sometimes an unnatural way. She's just the next plot thing happens in front of her, rather than it feeling organically like Barry's part of the plot and having agency. So that's something to be a little bit aware of here. This is the third time this chapter that's happened. The girl's eyes and skin stood out amid the mass of people. Violet eyes, playful and cunning, and her skin bronze, sunlit and gleaming. The girl was almost like... Barry's heart lurched. She needed to know. Instinct took over. Very moved, silent and sure, wove through the crowd. Very moved, silent and sure, weaving through the crowd? Would that be better? I don't know. Question mark with that session. I'm not 100% sure. The girls spotted her instantly and fled. Graceful and fast, vanishing into the tide of people. Hey, wait! Barry shouted, voice cut through the noise. Voice cutting through the noise? Am I crazy with some of these edits? So I had to more organically put it as her ADHD. I think there's a difference between ADHD, because we can't organically have like little ADHD moments, like getting sidetracked with projects, getting hyper-focused on projects. I say that as someone who, more than likely, I don't have money to get diagnosed, but everyone else in the Cryptid family is diagnosed with ADHD, and I doubt I dodged that bullet. So and they all tell me, like, you probably have ADHD too. So I'm like, shit. And then just feeling like a character's little stick figure that we're placing before the plot. Because even someone with ADHD, I'm like, why did she get so distracted by a snake? Even though the snake is cool and it's gold and whatnot, why'd she get so distracted by a snake instead of her dying mother that she really, really cares about and is being carried away by a non-relative, in this case Bridget. Bridget is like family, but she's not technically family like Barry is. And Sunrail's going, and these demigod people are going, like, all the other cool things is happening and following Tessie to this healer. And she just got distracted by a snake. I'm like, is that logical? You have something, but you don't know what? You have a suggestion or a critique here, or you have something else, like a creative project you're working on. Like, you just don't know how to say it? You can try your best, though. Oh, where was I? I was over here. Hey, wait! Barry shouted, voice cutting through the noise. She pushed forward, sandals scraped against uneven cobblestones. The girl's white hair was like frost trailing behind her, sapphire dress billowing like a caught banner. Barry's breath came quicker. I just want to... Please don't run! But the girl only danced faster through the chaos, her feet sure and practiced. She moved like water slipping through cupped hands. Oh, you mean the mental health stuff. You had something, but you don't know what. You and me both did. I am diagnosed with the dyslexia. And then more than likely, I have the ADHD and probably the TISM. But, because everyone else in the Cryptid family is diagnosed with that. It might be sublimation. She chooses to focus on the divine beauty of this amazing city and chooses to allow herself to be distracted in order to not think about her mother's sickness. Would add some interesting layers to these scenes. That's a good suggestion too. I forgot to pop in earlier. Got lost in the sauce on Stardew. Hey, whatever keeps you happy in these times, right? If Stardew is giving you the good serotonin, that dopamine, for you have Cryptid's full blessing to get lost in Stardew. Barry shoved past a merchant, barely avoiding a cluster of laughing children, then veered sharply to dodge a pair of unicorns pulling a carriage. We mentioned phoenixes or griffins. We mentioned griffins earlier. Come on, now we have unicorns. We have some cool things in this world. Did she accidentally mute, or my headphones died? Oh, your headphones died. Okay, I'm not mute. I'm so worried. That actually would be in character. In a later chapter, she purposely avoids the stress of watching her mom die. Okay. Hooves clattered dangerously close. She cursed, breath ragged, ducking beneath a flapping canopy before nearly crashing into a Satyric's merchant. The girl turned down a narrow street, still ahead, still escaping. Barry ran harder. She wasn't losing this girl. But just as quickly as the chase started, Barry lost sight of her. Shit, she muttered. Panic surged. Then, movement across the street. The girl. Barry dashed across the busy road, barely dodged a rattling tram and several horses and unicorns with riders. Her legs burned as she caught up, collapsed to her knees, breath heaving. She looked up, and there the girl was. Bronze skin shimmered, violet eyes blinked with a nervous curiosity, but amusement flickering beneath. Barry froze, struck dumb. The girl's beauty was wild and surreal, mischievous and noble all at once. A vulpine grace in her face and the elegant flick of her pointed ears. Her sapphire dress hugged her athletic frame with white, I was like, with white, airy sleeves that floated like clouds. Her boots gave her just enough lift to carry herself like someone born for movement and meant to be watched. Satrix, okay. Currently only dies for a princess. Switch to wired ones. Can you hear me now? What? Is it any better? If anyone else can't hear me, please let me know. That way that way we can figure out if it's just what or not. Alright, so I'm thinking here, how old in human equivalency here, I know we're talking about decades is like 1 year here, so in equivalency, how much is the girl here? Because I thought this would be like a younger girl. Like, I was thinking, when you say girl, I think like 10 to 14-ish years. I can hear you. Good. Okay, thank you, Drowning. But now here we're suddenly talking about like the girl's beauty is wild and surreal. She's noble, she's this. And I'm like, that's a little weird for like a 10 to 14-year-old. I can hear you again now. Okay. So then yeah. It was just your headphones then. Phew. The princess here is 18 going on 19. Okay. How would I... And Barry is equivalent to early 20s. She's like between 20 and 22. I forget the exact one. I'd have to check the earlier chapters. But she's early 20s. So would she call this a girl? Or is that just like a young woman? I'm not quite sure. I'll think about that. Barry had to forcibly pry her eyes away to stop from staring. Why are you following me? The girl asked, voice shaking slightly. I thought you were someone else, Barry said, catching her breath. Tried making a plausible excuse. You're not going to tell the Zodiac Guard, are you? The girl asked nervously, fidgeted with her fingers. Should I be fidgeting with her fingers? What? No! Barry recoiled in shock. Why would I do that? The girl sighed, clearly relieved. Good. I'm not allowed to wander around alone. She mimed drawing a sword, muttered something Barry only caught the end of. Mom's orders. Barry tilted her head. What do you mean? Why won't your mom let you wander around? The girl hesitated. Barry leaned in just enough to catch fragments. A crafter's place? Orion City. About a month now. Mom wanted Pisces too. I knew it, Barry blurted. Daedalus said we just got an order too. Bold lie from a jealous jackass. Her jaw tightened. Began to rant loudly to the girl. Of course, Daedalus had known about this job for a month and said nothing. Typical. Though she couldn't possibly see through him. Thought he was clever. Thought she couldn't possibly see through him. Thought he was clever. He thought she'd never question it. This is worded a little bit funny here. Thought she couldn't possibly see through him. Maybe he thought he was so clever. If that makes a bit more sense. He thought she'd never question it. Barry clenched her fist. He'd always kept her on simple tasks, the safe assignments. Like she couldn't handle the genuine work. Like she was some delicate little flower that needed protection. All because she was Orion Mintaka's daughter and Ares Mintaka's niece. He didn't trust her, didn't believe in her. Never challenged her, never gave her a shot to show what she really was. And he tried pawning it off on Brigid. City about a month now. Mom wanted Pisces too. How does she know that he tried pawning it off on Bridget? That's the first time I believe I've mentioned it. The task was originally on Bridget instead of Barry. The girl opened her mouth, tried to speak as Barry ranted on. Bridget mentioned it in chapter 1. In your edits. Okay. Maybe I missed it then. Maybe I didn't have those new edits. Where was I? Fuck. Never found the air tag. We're gonna try to search again during the day. They have lint ball foster kittens. Oh, did you get a picture of the kitties? Can you put it in the Discord? I want to see the baby kitties. Baba and Ghost are so cute growing up. Now we are starting to introduce Baba and Ghost back to their mom, Luna. She actually played for a few minutes with Ghost before, after a few minutes, she started getting annoyed by him and she started hissing at him again, but she didn't try to kill him, which is a huge improvement for her. Luna isn't the best mom. Okay, she's kind of a... She was a pregnant kitty who used the pregnancy to become an indoor kitty, and then after she became an indoor kitty, she's like, phew, okay, now these kittens can go. That would be a best thing. No. These kittens are a year old now. We had to separate them after like a few months, because she was getting annoyed with them. She was like, I don't need these kittens anymore. And 2 of them went to a family friend's house, and we kept 2, but they've all been separated. And now that they're past a year, we're slowly introducing them again. Oh, thank you for the hydrated hydrate. Here's your sippy. But gosh darn it, if those kittens weren't cute as little baby kitten nuggets. Oh my goodness. I guess not all parents deserve kids also applies to animals. Absolutely. We have a joke now whenever we see like TV shows or like books and media when we're talking about like bad parents, like when parents are neglectful and stuff. We're like, on the scale, how close are the parents to Luna? And we're like, oh. Schlipple. Bridget needs more water. I might rewrite her rant a bit. That routine scared me. I thought a pug landed on my screen for half a second. A bug. Oh, okay, I'm like, a pug? How is that scary? But a bug, yeah, that would scare me too. I get you. You only got to pet them? I'll totally take pictures tomorrow, though. Lol, that's fantastic. I'd love to see them. I'm wondering if Barry never got the really cool bestest fanciest tasks, if she only was ever kept on simple tasks and the safe assignments. How does Barry know that she's the best one there? You know what I mean? My name is Loka, and I'm the special pug. You prefer the pug version? The girl opened her mouth, tried to speak as Barry ranted on, but Barry barely noticed. She was burning too hotly. Until the girl shifted again, her discomfort plain. Barry's mind snapped back to the moment. Oh! I'm so sorry, she gasped, eyes wide. Are you, Princess Gorgaphone? Gorgaphone? I don't think it's Gorgaphone, because that sounds like phony, so I think it's Gorgaphone. Which, man, I'm gonna be real honest, this might be a worse name than Clarent. The 2 brothers, Excalibur and Clarent, I might lose it. I might prefer being called a Clarent instead of Gorgaphone. A blush spread across the girl's cheeks. Yeah, I am. Does my best Jacob from Twilight Depression? Bella! Oh god. It rhymes with Persephone. So Gorgaphone. Persephone. Funny. Gorgaphone. So it is Gorgaphone. Right? Persephone. Funny. Gorgophone. Gorgophone? Is that how you say it? Gorgonphony. Gorgonphony. Is that how you say it? It's a funny rhyme. Yeah, Persephone sounds funny. Yeah, so go. But it doesn't have the N, so it's not a Gorgon. Gorgophony. 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 I think I like Claret better. You did a weird attempt of a wordplay in English. Yeah, like phony. Like, her name means Gorgon killer. I'm not sure. I know that you're doing a lot of references with stars and the constellations and the rhythms and stuff like that. But man, I'm not sure how I feel about that name. Leave the Gorgons alone. They didn't do nothing. They're victims. Let them be in peace. A blush split across the girl's cheek. Yeah, I am. Very practically cheered. I'm just gonna call her Gorgo. Gorgo's eyes darted around in a panic. Please don't draw attention. I don't want Pisces finding us, she pleaded, whispered. It's the name of a new Samsung phone or something. Her name was chosen because of her mom being Queen Andromeda. Gorgo is her daughter in myth. And I know you're doing a lot of names and symbolism with the actual myths and the constellations and the stars and the mythology. But man, to modern readers, this one does feel a little wonky. It feels a little wonky to modern readers. I'm not quite sure. She pleaded, whispered. Barry blinked and paused. You don't want Auntie Cece finding you? But why? Auntie Cece is the Pisces. That's her other aunt. Who is the other aunt? The other aunt is Riri. And that's the Aries aunt. So this is her aunt's wife, Auntie Cece. But why? Gorgo glanced down, guilt written in her face. I told you, I'm not allowed to wander around alone until I have the sword. Oh, Barry said, pieces clinking, clicked into place. So, you're hiding from Auntie Cece. Gorgo gave a half nod, then quickly changed the subject. You were with that Ilakari, Falwyn and Ankun, right? Whew. I'm not quite sure I know what any of those words mean. She arched her brow. Sunny's not Ilakari. A pause, the image of the bronze snake in her mind. Hey, are you... Gorgo stammered, eyes widened. It doesn't matter. Why are you here? Auntie Cece is aunt-in-law. Yeah, she's her other aunt, the Aries aunt wife. Right? Am I getting the family tree right? It's her, the Aries aunt wife. I think I'm getting the family tree correct. The Ankun didn't look well, which in this case is her mum. Okay. Barry nodded. Yeah, Mum was hurt. Her eyes hit the cobblestone. We were looking for Asclepius. Mum needs healing badly. Gogo's expression shifted. Asclepius? Yeah, can you take me to him? Barry asked more urgently now. I don't know where I'm going. It's been a while since I was in Athena City. See, this is a little funny again, because if Barry had just gone with everyone else, she would have ended up there. They were all going to this healer. Now she's acting like, oh yeah, I don't know where I'm going. If she had just stayed with the group, she would have been there. Gorgo didn't hesitate. She grabbed Barry's wrist as she started moving. Of course, I know the city better than anyone. Barry soaked it in as the princess more or less dragged her through the streets. The winding cobblestone paths, the buildings grown from trees or forged from living metal. The wild riot of nature clinging to everything. It was like walking through a garden. Gorgo pointed out her favorite cafe. Walls of jasmine, tea blends that smelled like poetry. I kind of like that. I like that. Tea blends that smelled like poetry. A building wrapped in ivy turned out to be a botanical library, and the way the princess spoke of it, Barry swore she'd been raised among orchids. Barry's eyes wandered as she and Gorgo continued. Barry saw Terracund bartering with towering cyclonics, an Exian kissing a human's hand with delicate joy, a Satrix trading laughter and herbs with an Ankun. Defeater. Shapeshifter princess. Oh. Okay, and yes, I realized that at this point I was here and I was like, now I have to use the princess. Okay, so the princess needs to be introduced here. Oh wait, now we have stuff that's bolded. Okay. Let's see what's happening. Barry slowed, breath caught in wonder. Gorgo smiled, small and proud, when she caught Barry's wonder. Wonder and wonders. There's something magical about this city. It gets a garden for all the galaxy's dreams. Barry's heart swelled. Queen Andromeda's dream was alive here. As they turned down another street, Barry's sharp gaze caught something fluttering from a nearby lamp. She snatched it midair. Parchment, flyer. Seeking crew, Barry read. Captain Clara and First Mate Cynthia are looking for a crew of any kind as long as you have a destination in mind. We offer no promises, only adventure. If you're ready to sail among the stars, seek us out at the Maiden's Voyage. Barry's fingers trembled slightly as she read it. Her heart lifted. A crew. That was all she needed. Her pulse quickened as her eyes traced the details again, making sure she hadn't missed a single thing. The Maiden's Voyage. A vessel for those chasing the vast unknown, hungry for mysteries beyond the stars. The very thought sent a tight thrill curling through Barry's chest. She could almost feel the stars sweeping past, the weightless thrill of drifting in the infinite dark with a crew of kindred souls. So yeah, we have Barry wants adventure. We've mentioned that before. Well, earlier she wants to be a smith. She wants to be the best smith. I forget what the smithing is called. She wants to be the best smith. She wants to do more crazy, elaborate, detailed things. But then she also wants to go on adventure. Her call to adventure is finding the fleece, crafting. Thank you for reminding me, it's crafting. Her call to adventure is finding the golden fleece that Sunreal's talking about, right? Against the Dark One and all the threats that poses. And now she's seeing this unrelated cruise stuff, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I can just go on any adventure." I'm not sure if this is making her seem like a little bit like, "Oh yeah, she's just interested in anything." I know she's ADHD, but man, she's kind of getting a lot of different calls to action, calls of adventure, in the first few chapters here. Where was I? Ahead, Gorgo moved on, oblivious, still caught up in the bright shop windows. Barry's fingers closed around the flyer. She slipped it into her satchel. This was it. The lost fleece of Creus was in reach. Well, that might be a bit of a reach. The idea is I need this to reach the fleece. Clutching her satchel strap tighter, she imagined it, sailing among stars aboard the Maiden's Voyage. Barry needed a crew. She had Sunreal and Bridget now, but she'd need more. Has Bridget joined? As is summoned by her resolve, Sunreal fluttered down ahead, her wings shimmered softly in the sun's light. Gorgo jolted back in fright, eyes wide. Barry moved forward to calm Gorgo. "I thought you were with Mum," Barry said, concerned. Sunreal's ears flushed faint pink. "I wish to see how much the city has changed since I last roamed these streets. Exia has transformed greatly." She gestured broadly, her eyes gleamed with quiet reverence. "Girl, you should be hiding. There were assassins after you, like just a few hours ago." Bridget wouldn't say no. Barry's brow furrowed with worry. Did Mum make it to Asclepius? I imagine she has. Z is not one to break his word. Sunreal's soft smile was steady and sure. She turned her gaze to Gorgo, folded her wings behind her. Forgive me, I am Sunreal. And you are? Sunreal, assassins can wait. No, girls! Because Sunreal is older, right? She's more of an adult. She's a more adult than Barry is. Barry's a baby adult. She's early 20s. Sunreal's an older adult, right? Sunreal, you gotta get your head on straight. Gorgo hesitated, eyes dropped to the cobblestones. Gorgo, she whispered, voice barely above the hum of the city. Barry nudged her gently. It's all right, Sonny, she said softly. Gorgo's a little shy. They continued on, the city's noise folded around them until Barry's eyes caught an unusual sight at the end of a road. Sonny is like 200,000 years old. In human years or in this world's actual years? Because I know like every decade's like 1 year. So is that still like equivalent of like 2,000 years? I'm not quite sure. Math conversions are not my strong suit. But still, yeah, she's older. She's experienced. She's got a brain. Her brain's matured in universe. Okay. She's old enough. I'm like, Sunreal, what are you doing? You're making rookie mistakes. But there's an unusual sight at the end of the road. A building almost like a shrine. Strange, alive. Plants burst from every window, vines tangled and spilled down the walls, as if the building itself had grown from the earth. Is this not usual here? Because I mean, some of the buildings here are like that, right? The buildings grown from trees or forged from living metal. Yeah, the buildings are kind of like that. That's not unusual. A veil of thick greenery cloaked the door, the air heavy with moss, soil, and something otherworldly. Barry's heart quickened. Is this a shrine for Florana? Barry asked. Gorgo's eyes lingered on the wild tangle. Not exactly, but close enough. Either way, she's definitely old enough to know better. I like how you're calling out Sunny too. Sometimes we do that with our characters, right? Where we look at our stuff and we're like, wait a second. Character, why are you doing this? One of the books I was working with, the Necromancer Dad story, right? Where he reconnects. He realizes he has a now adult daughter that he never knew about, but he only finds out after she's dead. And so he illegally resurrects her. He's not supposed to have these necromancy powers, and he resurrects her. And all the different stuff, and they're fleeing death because now the Grim Reaper is after them. A lot of the stuff through it, I kept writing stuff down, and I'm like, Necromancer Dad, why are you doing this shit? Why are you so stupid? And it's because, like, you know, he's new to being a dad, and it's hard to be a dad to a now adult. She doesn't need a dad anymore. She's an adult woman now. So he was doing like a lot of silly, stupid things, and I just kept I was acting like his daughter character, where I was like getting tired of his shit. And I was like, Necromancer Dad, what shit are you on? You should know better. There was something in her voice, like Gorgo knew exactly what this place was. This is where Barry was supposed to go first. Okay. They stepped through the vine-wreathed doorway, ears twitching at the sudden burst of sounds. Strange chirps and rustles wove together. See, I'm still, like, even now I'm confused. Like, now this is another side quest. They finally regrouped with Sunreal. They're going to find her mom with this doctor, with this healer. And now they got a side quest again just because the place looked leafy. So I'm like, wait, like Barry, what are we doing here? You gotta focus. I know we're both ADHD, but Barry, focus. Strange chirps and rustles wove together, a symphony of creatures. Roses bloomed on emerald walls, their petals soft and sweet, while branches curled and twisted like living stair rails, beckoning downward. It felt as if the building breathed with nature's pulse. The air grew warmer and richer as they descended, thick with moss and flower scent. Over the chirp of creatures, Barry heard it, a faint, soft moan. This is where her mum is. Oh. That I did not pick that up at all. It sounded like Barry just got interested in this place because it was leafy. Because it's Barry's eyes caught something at the end of the road, and it's this shrine. And then they're just wandering in. I didn't get Gorgafone or Sunrio being like, oh yeah, this is the place where your mum is. As Clepes just loves his animals and plants a lot. Yeah, I thought this was just another random side quest for Barry. I didn't pick up on Princess here mentioning like, oh yeah, this is where the healer is. Mumsy. Are you talking about the way I refer to my mother? It's actually with Mummsy, Mumsy. That's how the Cryptid family does it. There we go, hold on. Let me see. That's what it looks like. That's what she's in my phone. Mumsy. What about Minzy? That's Has-Been Hotel. That's different. Mumsy just makes me think of Wow Wow Wubsy, which did you guys know the voice actor for... Is it the main character in Wow Wow Wubsy? Is also the voice actor for Azula from Avatar The Last Airbender? Isn't that a crazy range? I might be off, but I'm pretty sure it's the same voice actor. Isn't that crazy? Building breathed with nature's pulse. The air grew warmer and richer as they descended, thick with moss and flower scent. Over the chirp of creatures, Barry heard it, a faint, soft moan. She quickened her steps after Gorgo. The wooden stairs creaked beneath her sandals. They stepped into a vast chamber that stole Barry's breath, a botanical wonderland. Soft green light filtered through thick leaves. Vines cascaded from the ceiling like living curtains. Branches braided into cages holding strange, exotic creatures. Tiny winged bipeds fluttered like living jewels. Furry quadrupeds darted through shadows. Insects hummed a gentle rhythm. But it was three creatures that drew Barry's attention most. The first was a drifting mass of white mist, shifting and swirling, but held together by unblinking black eyes that pierced Barry's soul. He just keeps his patients next to his pets. This is a terrible hospital. 0 stars on Yelp. No, honestly, this sounds like a better place than most hospitals. A lot of hospitals are like, you get depressed and bored. It's bad. A chill crawled up her spine as the mist floated, fragile and untethered, as if ready to vanish at any moment. The second was darker, a simian shape with glossy black skin and sharp red eyes. Claws flexed, and a long arrow-shaped tail flicked behind it, both curious and predatory. So I'm guessing simians are like claws, arrow-shaped tail, like I'm thinking almost a Nightcrawler from X-Men. You'll be next to my pet pixies. I can't scroll down, but this is the end. Okay. The third was a strange hybrid, quadrupedal but simian-faced. Its dark mane was thick and wild, eyes ancient and knowing. It carried a quiet, almost untamed power that made Barry's skin prickle. As Barry briefly glanced over to Gorgo, the tiniest vine twitched beneath Gorgo's fingers. This is a incomplete sentence. Barry tilted her head. Hey, are you? Gorgo jumped, and the plants froze. Her lips parted but closed again. Her eyes dropped to the floor, avoided Barry's. Her voice faltered, growing too faint to catch. Barry didn't press. Instead, her gaze drifted back to the creatures watching silently in their cages. Then, soft footsteps. Barry's eyes snapped wide. She barely had time to turn before a tall figure filled the doorway. So one thing I noticed, once they enter the building, I don't know where Sunreal went. Sunreal has vanished. Sunriel has vanished into thin air. You're just trying to write the princess is a bit shy. Yeah, I definitely get the fact she's shy, she's nervous, she has anxiety. Okay. These creatures are a wraith, an imp, and a sphinx. Okay, okay. I'm wondering every single race and the creatures has fantasy names. The simian, the something simian face, the quadrupedal. Sometimes we're getting, if it was just one or two races that had their own unique names, I think it would be fine, but we have a lot, even a lot more than I thought were in this book, and we're only in chapter 4, and I think we're going to meet many more, and they all have their own names, and then we're also getting mixed up with stuff like Exian, which is some of the elves, but not all of the elves, some of the Sylvans, but not all the Sylvas. I'm wondering if we have too many fantasy sci-fi race names without them being properly introduced. Yeah, compared to just a more normal name that they might understand here, rather than just calling them, hey, this is a sphinx, hey, this is an imp. Having some, at least some names that the readers can latch onto and be like, okay, at least I know what this is. Because you do say pixies, right? Or at least in chat you said pixies. Let me see here. Do we actually say pixies in text? A symphony of creatures. Holding strange exotic creatures. No, tiny winged bipeds. Fluttered like living jewels. So we just have tiny winged bipeds rather than pixies. And I think pixies would make a lot more sense and it would read better. Furry quadrupeds darted through shadows. So like furry dogs, furry little wolves, furry something furry with 4 legs, but I'm not actually sure what. Insects tugged a gentle. Okay, so we do have insects. Yeah, but some of those things, I'm wondering if we're getting at a point where it's too much. I can change that to pixies. Yeah. So for a tall figure filled the door. I would know once we enter the building, Sunriel is gone. So that's one note. But before we even get to that, let me think here. What are we thinking of with chapter 4? I still have, I think, my original critique of a lot of this seems unnatural for Barry. She has just spent the last few hours on the boat, hoping they can get to the city in time to meet this strange healer that might be able to save her mom. And then instead, as soon as they're out, it's Bridget who, without even commenting about it, just takes the mom and goes, even though it's not Bridget's mom. It's just her friend / love interest mom. Everyone else goes with. Barry is just off following a snake. That would to give us the hint that the princess is a shapeshifter. And then from that, she's then distracted again by the singers. Which, even though this is cool, my original thought was, oh, just break it up. But again, it is just to serve as a metaphor for Barry later. I'm not sure if we need that in text. There is, we can have really cool stuff like this in placement of a prologue, actually. You disassociate and ask Bridget to take her mom to the healer and that she'll catch up. I'm not even sure if I want her to disassociate just for all these side quests. I'm wondering if it makes more sense for Barry just to go with... Hold on, I'm thinking. First of all, let me look at this poem. I'm not sure if you ever read the Icewind Dale trilogy. But in the opening of the book, when you first turn it, instead of a prologue, there's at first a long song poem like this. That is the Bard's Talk singing about the Icewind Dale trilogy. And then you turn the page and then it's like chapter 1 or a prologue of the Icewind Dale trilogy. Well, that's where they put this because it is such a cool thing. Let me... Trilogy Poem in front. What is it called? What are your thoughts? The Dark Elf trilogy is the prequel. Yeah. Part of the Crystal Shard. Icewind trilogy. It is not that. I can't think of it, but the poem's like in the front of the book before the book starts. It's not like I can't make another version of chapter. Yeah, and that's always what I recommend. I never want you guys to do like hard edits in your thing. I always say start a new document and do your edits. That way, in case you don't like the edits, you still have your original version shaved. Your original version saved. There we go. I always recommend that. I never want you guys to do hard. I never do hard edits in the first document. I always start a new document to do my edits. But yeah, I think this should be maybe a separate thing that's just a cool little thing in replacement of a prologue. Another idea I'm having is maybe she makes it to the clinic and has the snake following them, and then just follows the snake at that point. Maybe. I'm thinking. I'm percolating in my brain here. I'm thinking. So this gets out. We don't need the singers then. That would be in the front. I don't want any new raccoons thinking I do like these hard edits with your work. Again, Chatty Matty's submitted multiple times. Chatty Matty's looking for these harder developmental edits to make everything like as polished as it can be. That's the only reason why this is happening here. I never want you guys to be scared that like you'll submit something for a fanfic and then I'm like, okay, rework this, redo chapter 5. That's not gonna happen. That's you're fine. The singers are the captain and the first mate, by the way. Yeah, but we don't need them introduced like this. We can just have them be introduced as the captain and the first mate later. We don't need them introduced here with the song. We can just not have that here. The song can be in the beginning of the book as like a little prologue thing. And we can meet the captain and the first mate when we're actually there. On the note of starting a new document for edits, Google Docs does save all previous document versions, but it is a bit scuffed. Yeah, that's why I'm like, it's just so unnatural. Don't even worry about it. So if you have been editing the original document, it isn't the end of the day if you are on Google Docs. I'm still here. Hi, Johnny. I'm just on call with boyfriend. Nice. Tell boyfriend he should join Cryptid Cult. So is it Arthur Wanall? Arthur? I'm just gonna call you Arthur. But yes, that is a good note. Google Docs does do that, but you're right. It's so clunky. And especially when we're doing like big edits, like when we're rewriting a chapter, when we're deleting a chapter, when you have a hard edit and you're deleting 3 chapters, right? Those are big edits, and I never want you guys to lose all that work. So it's sometimes better just to start, like if this is untitled document here, and I had this thing of like, oh, I'm just gonna get rid of all this. I would just start a new untitled document version 2, copy it all over, and then on that second document I would then delete all this, right? It just makes more sense. And then if I'm ever like draft 3, draft 4, draft 5 into revisions, and I'm like, you know what, I got rid of this section to like make it clunkier, but man, I actually think now it's needed. I'm draft 4, 5, 6 in. I feel like I actually need to go back to that first draft and insert some stuff back in. It's easy just to go back to your original thing and just copy paste that on. You know what I mean? It's nice. With writing, we always want to be as nice to our future and past selves as possible. Oh. Okay, I'm trying to fix this without breaking continuity with Clara and Cynthia's story, but I think I can have Barry just not notice them, but they see her. See, that's why I've mentioned before, I'm like, you're working on a lot of stuff. You're already on book 3. You mentioned that this is a side story. You're working on this, you're working on that. And I'm like, really, that's what's kind of unusual. Normal, you just do the first book and then you edit and nail down and fully polish the first book before you work on book 2 and book 3, because otherwise then whenever you do those edits, those changes, it now impacts everything else. It has domino effects, which makes it really tough. That's why I was like, okay, you can do it. You're doing all the hard work, okay, but it can make it really tricky. You might be the first person encouraging writers to make their lives easier for themselves. Oh yeah, are all writers just masochists? Should we actually just make it harder on ourselves? You know what was actually so helpful was I actually used to when I didn't have pen and paper, when I was still like dating people and I was over at their house and stuff, and I didn't have my notebooks, and I wanted to write like because they would be like playing League or whatever, right? And they would be ignoring me, but I couldn't do anything. I would actually open up, and I would write an email to myself, but just in the email it would be like the free writing of whatever it was, whatever bullshit I was writing. You know, something like, oh, cool, lesbian dragon killer, covered in blood, blah, 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 blah. Add more you know, whatever bullshit. And I would email it to myself, and that way, like, years later, right, I could still actually recover some of these old emails of my old writing. Isn't that crazy? I still have some of those emails. And I could recognize them. I'm like, oh yeah, I went over to, like, hang out with my boyfriend at the time. And the boyfriend at the time was, like, ignoring me because his bros wanted to play League of Legends or some shit. But he didn't want me to go because, you know, he would want to like smash later or something. So he's like, no, just don't talk with me and don't go anywhere. Just stay in the room, just wait for a couple of hours for however many matches I'm gonna do with my bros, and then I'll hang out with you later when I feel like it. And I'd be like, okay, because past me didn't have any like any self-respect, god damn it. And I'll just email myself my writing. That's how I kept busy. This is so real. I have 2 Instagram accounts so I can DM myself ideas and corrections. Sometimes I recognize plot holes when I'm nowhere near my computer. Absolutely 100%. So yeah, you can email yourself, you can make notes in your phone, but I don't know how to do that because I'm terrible with technology, so I just email myself. You can do all sorts of crazy stuff. Isn't that weird? I was considering that when I was writing. That's why I also made book 2, focusing more on the story on the guy who stole the fleece in the first place. Okay. Oh wait, I'm highlighting stuff all over the place. Ooh, let me stop doing that before I do anything crazy. So I feel like we don't need to see. Oh, thank you for the follow. And hey, I hope you like hanging out with Cryptid Cult. I hope you have fun here. You can always submit your own writing too. We have a Discord. Although now with everything crazy happening in Discord, I'm looking at other alternatives to host all the raccoons off stream. But for now, we have a Discord. You can submit your own writing. It will be added to the queue in the story submission section. And whenever I get to your work, then I read it right here on stream, and I give critiques. Chatty Maddie is a multi critique person. So I do these bigger critiques with them and with like 1 or 2 authors. What is happening with Discord at the moment? Discord has, I guess, announced that starting next month, if I'm getting my timelines right, starting next month, they will start requiring age verification, such as either all their users doing a selfie or submitting like government ID to get out of their accounts being like child locked, basically. But they're gonna do that after like a few months ago. They already had a leak of like 70,000 documents and stuff. Like they've already released a lot of their users' info, but now they're asking like, oh yeah, submit more of your info. Prove with your face or your legal government ID. Give us more info. We totally won't leak it or sell your info. And everyone's kind of calling, you know, BS on that. So a lot of people are considering leaving Discord. But for now, because that just got released like today or yesterday, I think. For now, we'll keep using Discord, and I'm looking at alternatives to possibly host the Cryptid Cult community. Right, the age verification thing. I'm in Australia, so we have a pretty big under 16 social media ban that Discord narrowly avoided. I bet, yeah. When I was younger, I used to act out what I was thinking for a scene. Do you guys ever do that, like in the shower? When you're having like when you're just relaxing in the shower and you start thinking of the scenes, the dialogue, you start acting it out in your head and stuff. I'm an adult. I'm 30 this month and I still do that. I'll admit it. I'll admit I'm cringe. It's fine. I'm a blue person. I'm a blue VTuber on your screen. Of course I'm cringe. And they're doing it to coincide with the UK social media laws. Well, they're doing it to coincide with a lot of places suddenly requiring, like Roblox and other things, asking for like children to submit their things to feed the AI algorithm. That's what's gonna happen. It's just oof, yeah. You don't want to know what I do in the shower. I read that aloud physically before my brain processed it. Chatty Patty. That's funny. Oh my god. And that way my edits made in book one don't make a catastrophic edit apocalypse. I but yeah, anyway, so in the future, in the next few weeks, if you guys seem like, oh hey, you can also do it here instead of Discord, that might be happening in the future. I might move the Cryptid Cult community off Discord, or maybe I'll keep Discord and something else. I don't know. We're gonna see how things go. I got the point of it, but kids can still find a way past it. Yeah, they'll just use their parents' ID, and then their parents' ID will get their info scraped instead. It's stupid. I did just now, like, yeah, now I definitely know. Oh my god. So I think remove. Sorry, I'm trying to focus in because Drowning is still here and I want to get to their work too because they've been waiting for so long. They're just one of the oldest thing in the queue. I think remove the captain and the first mate here because it's not even really a proper introduction to them, so it's not needed. Make this the new prologue, this cool little poem thing that's kind of a metaphor for Barry's journey throughout the story. That's like a first fix. And really, I'm wondering, yeah, if Barry could stay with the crew, stay with the main group here, as in stay with Bridget and Tessie and Sunreal and Z and all everyone else here. This is a big cast now. Lock in and edit away. She's gonna go to the hero, but maybe she's disassociating as she does it, and they go into the cool planty building. Right, they go into the cool planty building, and the Z goes in with the mom, and it's like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna take it to the healer, bye, and then like they get locked out. The healer's like, yeah, I'll heal your mom. They get locked out because he doesn't want all these bitches and hoes taking up all his room where his pixies and his all little creatures can be, right? He's like, no, you guys can walk out here. So they're all like sitting outside the planty building, waiting. She's like disassociating. Barry's like disassociating. Sunreal goes off to go explore the city. If you still want her to do that, you might not. I don't know. And then while Barry's hanging out here, then she could get the flyer. Then she could see the snake. Maybe the snake's peeking at her over a little thing, right through the vines and stuff, and the snakes, and she's like, oh, that's a weird snake. And then everything else could happen. But I think first she should follow the group to try and hang out with her mom, because that's what makes sense for her character, right? Her staying with the group also gives me excuse to explore Floria too. Good. That's a good way of viewing it. And then maybe she gets interested in the snake. The snake like darts around the building. She corners it. It turns it into the princess, and she's like, "Oh wait, cool, a shapeshifter. Why were you watching us?" And then she's too nervous, and she's like explaining stuff. And then they hang out. And then eventually after a few hours they can go. Like the healer comes out. It's like, "Okay, now you can come see your mom," and lets Barry and the group back in. But I think that that slight readjustment of events suddenly makes it more in character for Barry. We can still explore her disassociating and being distracted by stuff, but it's after initially following the mom to the building. Trying to hang out, see a shape-shifting snake, black out and wake up at all. You know, just day-to-day stuff, right? We've all experienced that. We've all experienced just hanging out. You're hanging out with your crew. Some bad stuff is going on in your life, and then you see a shape-shifting snake, and you black out, and you're back at home. That's a normal daily occurrence for many people around the world. Her home is a pile of ashes. That's a normal daily occurrence for many of us. So this is a lived experience for everyone. Yes, we all know this. Everyone here not in agreement. That's a normal experience. So yeah, I think this is the first chapter. I think everything else, we've had minor adjustments for character. This is really the first chapter, chapter 4. I'm like, some of the stuff here needs to be rearranged. This is the first part really where we're having those developmental edits come into play. So one, first of all, that's really, really good for your first 3 chapters, right? But chapter 4, I feel, is like the first start of this first book, where we're like, okay, some of those bigger edits are coming into play. But otherwise, I don't think we've really deleted any scene. We're just rearranging stuff. We're just rearranging the order of events, other than the captain and crewmate with this poem, which the poem, I think, can be good at the front of the book, and we can just meet the captain and the crewmate later, whenever that happens naturally in the book. That's really the only part that we're getting rid of, quote unquote. Okay, then I can rearrange some details with Asclepius from chapter 5 to this. Yeah, and even if you want to, because I've mentioned sorry, for anyone who's not aware, I'm in my developmental editing course, so I can be a real fancy developmental editor one day, and I can offer you guys even better advice. So that's happening. I've started module 2 of my course. I finished the first module of it. That's exciting. It was just more like the intro, the starter stuff. So module 1 wasn't hard, but still. And I've offered Chatty Matty, because they are working really hard, and they are implementing the edits, and they're taking my advice seriously, that once I'm done and I get my developmental editor certificate, that I was asking that they be my first client, and I read the full book, and I give them my developmental edit suggestions, and in exchange, the Chatty Matty will give me feedback on how well I am as a developmental editor cryptid, as the first cryptid who is an editor. So that's the thing in the future. So maybe even some of these bigger edits you might want to wait on doing until I can read the full book and offer you the edits with the scope and the scale of the full book in mind, right? Because right now we're just kind of going chapter by chapter. So if you want to wait on doing that hard work until I can give you all the edits at once, that's perfectly fine and valid. One may say that you formed a feedback loop. Even when my brain hurts, I do the edits. Are you able to say which institution you were doing the course with? I will when I am done, because I am still at the beginning part of it. I don't want to say which it is, because I don't want it to be taken as advertisement or endorsement for something that I don't know if it's good yet. You know what I mean? I'm just in the beginning of it. I like it so far. There's stuff with it I like, but then I could be in like module 3 or 4 or whatever, and then suddenly realize like it's a scam, right? And then I would feel bad about talking about it with you guys and having that endorsement or that kind of free advertising by saying that I, Cryptid Roots, am doing it. I don't want that to happen. So I want to finish the course first and see what I think about it, see how well I think it's legit or not, and how much it's helped me. And then I want to give proper feedback on it. So at this point, I won't say which one it is, but I will say like, hey, I'm doing one. It has a fancy little certificate at the end. It's a little neat, but I won't say officially what it is until I'm complete with it. Try to hang out. Let me see. Because I'm just trying to be responsible. You know, I don't want to ever encourage you guys into thinking something's legit when it might not be. Hi, King Cal. It's good to see you. It likely also means you'll get book 2 just so you have more content. Sorry, I don't have all those fancy little command things yet. Roots is working on. Right now, Roots is working on actually the text-to-speech. So you guys will be able to like redeem text-to-speech. That's what they're working on. They were supposed to do it today. They forgot because we all have ADHD. It happens. So they'll hopefully for next stream, we'll have the text-to-speech. That's being worked on in the background. And then after the text-to-speech application, then I'll probably ask them to do the little commands for the Discord and for Lurk and all the other stuff. I still have a mental note to edit chapter 3 and 4 of the fantasy. Yeah. Listen, all those editing work it's work. It takes time. I'm never like rushing you guys to do those edits. Have an art connecting them. This is the kind of power the chat can rarely be trusted with. How do you know if you're learning like quality shit if you're like just learning about it? Is there some information or expectation? And that's what I'm saying too. Like, I think as a newbie, if I even say it's shit, that's like oh no, it's like really bad, it's really scammy. So once I take it, I'll give feedback on like, hey, what it was and what did I learn. but I probably won't say like if it's like good or if it's the high, like the pinnacle of the education, right? Like, because I won't know, I won't have that frame reference. I can give you feedback on if I liked it. I can give you feedback on what I learned from it, but I won't be able to give you feedback on if it's like the most legit thing ever, or if you take this one course you'll know everything, because I won't have that frame of reference. So I always try to give things in perspective. I try to be honest and upfront about it. But yeah, in general, I don't even want to say what it is now because I don't want it to be as like everyone's like, oh, Cryptid Root's taking this course. This is the most legit thing. Everyone go take this course. Be cool like this blue booba on on Twitch. No. So once I'm done, I'll let you guys know what I think of it. I'll let you know what I learned. And I'll give some of my thoughts and my experience with it. But I won't say whether or not it's the height of like the greatest thing ever, because I won't have that perspective. I think having that perspective is always important to know. I recall some stream where TTS was almost exclusively redeemed for dad joke deliveries. Oh, that's funny. Buddy, is there some information you're expecting? I am expecting to know, one, what different terms in developmental editing are, because there are some different things like developmental critique, developmental overview, developmental edit. There's some different words used in the industry, and I want to, one, know more about what those technical things are. What are clients expecting from those technical different services, or if they have no meaning, if it just has to be more explained by each one. Hi Kozetsu, hello, it's good to see you. We're just talking about the course I'm in real quick while I finish up giving Chatty Matty's critique. I'm expecting to know more things about the what is expected from a full developmental edit. How do you give it? Because it's not like a normal VTuber's talking to you in real time, right? How is it delivered? What things are expected to be noted in the margins? What's in the multiple pages you get at the end? Because some things are noted on the side, some things are given in like an overview in multiple pages at the end, like 5 to 20 pages you'll get. That will give you an overview of certain things, and the things in the margins are pointing out specific examples. What should you point out? Point of view, characters, this, that. What are the basics you should cover? What are some more fine details you can cover? Should you offer fixes for it? Or are you just pointing out the errors and it's up to the author to fix it, right? Because some authors don't like it when you offer fixes. Here with Chatty Matty, I was offering some fixes. I was like, oh, this could be in the front as like the prologue. And then this seems like deleted, right? Some authors may not like that. They might just like the thing of, hey, this feels out of place, consider moving it, but they won't want the fix. To them, that's rude that you offer a fix for them. Demolishing a novel with style, the course. The blue woman took the course. It has to be good. Yeah, see, I don't want that to happen. So I'm gonna finish the course first. I'll let you guys know what I learned. I mean, if you're not offering solutions to problems, what the hell are they even paying you for, LMAO? Yeah, see, that's one of the things too. Like, that's, to me, I would want suggestions. I would want fixes. You're taking a course? Oh, cool. Yes, I'm taking a developmental editing, a course on how to be a developmental editor. And when I'm done with it, then I'll be like a little bit more of a legit editor, and I could hopefully offer you guys some more specific advice, some better advice, because I've been chatting and being your little critique buddy for like 3 months now. Can you guys believe it? And I'm hoping the course won't just help me learn how to be an editor and what's expected of a developmental editor and how to format and give that feedback properly in a professional way, but also like better words on how to describe things. Because sometimes I'll like highlight something and I'm like, oh, this just feels wonky. Oh, this doesn't feel like it's in the right place. And I try to always explain why I'm offering a fix or suggestion, but sometimes actually knowing the correct terminology, the correct terms, I'm not the best at that, right? So knowing the correct terminology to explain things could also help me. As long as the editing advice isn't pedantic, that's not how you say that. I welcome it all. Good point. Yeah, offering critique and recommendations to authors can be very difficult, particularly when editing fantasy writing, because strides towards realism in commercial writing can be at odds with whimsy and the author's intuition. Yeah, there's even commercial fiction versus literary fiction, right? Those are technically different. Literary versus commercial fiction. Those have different expectations in the writing and the genres and what the writing's trying to do. You were brilliant when you looked over mine, so I know you're legit. Well, technically, I'm not legit. I'm just your little critique writing buddy, right? I'm trying to become legit. That way I can offer you you guys better advice and explain it better. That's always the goal here. Since you guys are trusting me with your writing and to hear my feedback, I wanna take that seriously. I wanna try and learn everything I can to offer it in the best way I can to you. Um, Commercial versus literary versus genre is such a headache. Yeah, see? I trust Cryptid. See, that's the problem. Too many people are trusting me. So now I have to be legit. The professional publishing industry is a nightmare. You have my respect. Yeah, it's really scary. And I still love a lot of the traditional publishing routes, but I also understand it's scary. It's not keeping up with the pace of writers. There's a lot of writers that technically their works aren't outside the scope of genres or anything that they could get published and be successful with traditional publishing, but just because there's so much, it's so like saturated, so like flooded, it's so hard to get an agent because the agents are overwhelmed. It's so hard for agents to get to the publishing houses because the publishing houses are overwhelmed. A lot of books that would technically be very well and fit within traditional publishing are becoming independently published, and some of them are meeting great success. There's a lot of independently published authors that are making great success and great money from it, but a lot of them are also having struggles, right? They can't afford editors, which a publishing house would cover. You normally don't pay with traditional publishing because the publishing house covers the edits. They might not even be able to afford the marketing after the edits. I think writing is much harder, but well, but yeah, so much of the market and the industry, that's better, the industry at all levels is flooded. And it's becoming very, very difficult. So if I can just be your little critique writing buddy to help you along the way for free here on stream, for you guys just watching like 30 seconds of ads, then hey, I'm happy to do that. I'm happy just to be your little writing critique buddy and give you advice and give you feedback to help you with whatever aspect of publishing or just as a hobby level. A lot of you guys aren't doing this professionally. You're writing fanfics, you're writing fun things, you're writing just in your spare time and you still just want to get better. If you're working as a developmental writer, the important thing you need to keep in mind that you are not there to be someone's friend. You are there to evaluate on a technical level and to shine a light on all the blind spots that the author has to their own work. That's true. It's true. You have to be that more professional person. And it can often be far worse for a writer if you do less of your job because you don't want to hurt feelings. You're doing your client a disservice. That's true, and that's a very important thing to keep in mind. Thank you, Kozetsu. That's how you say your name. Ads, you mean that thing I pay you so I don't have to watch? Yeah. Yes, if we were paying you. And that's one thing here. As a VTuber, as just the blue cryptid on your screen, I'm here for fun. I'm here to be shits and giggle. I'm here to be like your parasocial friend, right? Not too parasocial, hopefully. Please don't stab me in real life or something, right? Don't be creepy about it. But here on your screen, I'm here to be friendly and bubbly and keep talking into the void and hang out with you guys, right? That's the point here. But yes, as an official editor, if I was to actually do like the editing thing, that would be in a more professional capacity. That's why if you guys, some of you guys have actually ordered from our business, Cryptid Roots, the patches and embroidery me and Roots offer. And if you guys are there, then obviously I'm not pretending to be a little blue booba person there, right? I'm just a professional seller that's making patches, and you guys, some of you have reached out and you're like, oh hey, it's this and that, and I speak friendly but professional friendly to you guys over there. If you're not nice, people kind of ignore your edits and call you a hater. And here we see the endless struggle. How nice can you be professionally and how mean can you be professionally? It's the eternal struggle. You gotta be very professional. You gotta point out the things they do well. And I do mention stuff, right? I do mention whenever I like certain things. I try to do, at least on stream. And like become blind to the value of insights. Yeah, just because they think you're being a hater. That's why I said most of the critiques, I try to justify it. I'm not just hating on it to hate. I'm explaining why. And I do also mention the things I like. Bedside manner. The trad publishing industry can't keep up with demand, but also TikTok is really contributing to visibility and money is a big priority for the industry. Yeah, I've heard. So take it with a grain of salt because I'm hearing from like secondhand sources. and I'm just like a random blue VTuber on your screen, right? I'm not the most reliable person either. I don't technically work in the publishing industry yet, but I have some feelers out there. I have some little whispers whispered in my ear. I've actually heard some agents and publishing houses before, they never took into account, like years ago, your social media presence, your popularity presence was never part of a publishing deal unless you were like a mega celebrity like Oprah or something like that. Oh, hello, welcome on in, Raiders. It's good to see you guys. Hello. All your books are belong to us. Oh my goodness, everyone surrender your books. I guess they're taking them all. But hello, Raiders, welcome on in. I hope you guys had a good stream. What were you guys doing in your stream? Were you guys hanging out? Were you guys doing any reading or writing or editing? It's been a little time. Yes, it has been. Hi, City, and it's good to see you. Yes, give over all your books. Run, Barry, run! Oh, that's cute. The book nearest me is... Let me hold on, my mom's staring at you while I look. Is Fairies of Dreamdark Blackbringer. Because I had it over back when I was considering doing just a reading stream. And it's one of my favorite books, and I had that here in case we ever ran out of submissions. Which has not happened yet. We continued reading All Quiet on the Western Front. You're almost done with it. That's incredible. Oh my goodness. It's very heavy. But then you put lulls right afterwards. Okay. How incredible. Do you have the same thing too, or after a couple hours on stream, your voice starts getting tired, Sidian? My voice is definitely starting to feel it. I have started setting up a second book to read if I finish. That's exciting. Yeah, because you're really close to finishing it. How exciting. So dude, how are your chatters? How are your streamers? It starts, I sip lemon water. It has helped immensely. I'm just over here like a poor person. I just have regular water. I don't have fancy lemon water. Oh my goodness, maybe I should start doing that. But otherwise, we're over here. We've just finished up reading chapter 4 for Chatty Matty. And I just finished offering some suggestions on how to reorganize chapter 4 a bit and move things around to make it flow a little bit better with the characters. And we have just finished that. And let me see here. Who is up next? I believe if Blub is still here and you are still awake, I know it's taken a while. I'm so sorry, Blub. But if you are still awake, then it will be between ink and paper. So Blub, if you're here, please let us know and I will read your stuff. Finally. You submitted it all the way back in December? I believe in December. Oh, add a little lemon concentrate. It makes a world of difference. That's a really good tip. Thank you, Sidian. But yeah, otherwise, for anyone new here, for all the new raiders, I actually read story submissions from you guys in chat, and I read it live here on stream. I read a couple pages. I read as long as I can. And at the end of it, I offer critique. I offer 1 or 2 pieces of advice or edits. For everyone who just saw Chatty Matty's, I offered a little bit more, because Chatty Matty is here for those deeper, more thorough edits, because they want to traditionally publish one day. But for anyone else here, a lot of people just submit their fanfics, their writing, their hobby writing, and I offer 1 or 2 pieces of critique to help you guys in your writing journey. Lemon concentrate, interesting. Cryptid missed your question. Oh wait, what was the question? I was talking to all the new raiders here. We're at 27 viewers. It's crazy. I need to know how the princess is coming off here. Definitely shy, anxious. I got between shy and anxious. I wasn't sure if anxious was the goal. You said shy earlier, but I got anxious, shy. If she's anxious, I'm a little bit curious about why she wants to wander off alone if she is so shy and anxious and introverted. But that's not an answer you have to answer now. It's not a question you have to answer now. That could be stuff I learn about her through the course of the book. So that's a fine thing to be wondering. Yeah, like 1 teaspoon per pint of warm water. Oh, okay. So yeah, you can't have it too concentrated. That's pretty thinned out. That is addressed. Okay, perfect. So yeah, she came off a little shy, a little anxious. I was curious why she just decides to hang out with Barry. It felt very much like Barry, like something happens in front of her, in this case, this meeting with Barry, and then she just decides to go along with it. I was wondering if there could be a stronger reason why she chooses to hang out, and then that's even kind of just in my suggestions for reorganizing the scenes of she was just as a snake hanging out outside the shop, and Barry and the group happen to be here. Barry notices the snake. The snake tries to hide in an alley or something because she realized she got spotted and she's shy. And then Barry corners her and she shapeshifts, and that confrontation could happen. And that in my head could feel a little bit more organic. But even then, I'm not quite sure what her reasoning is for continuing to hang out with Barry. Um, anyway, let's see what's happening. I'm missing chat. Sorry to ask this again as I feel you answer this, but are 18 plus fics okay to critique on stream? No spice or sex scenes, but bloody violence like it's the Hunger Games. That is fine. Bloody violence is fine here. It is just the spicy sex scenes. I just get too embarrassed reading the spicy sex scenes. They're too embarrassing to read live on stream. It's too embarrassing. You're gonna make a blue person blush, and who knows what blush a blue person has. But yeah, violence and blood and gore, that is all fine here. I assume if you guys are mature enough to be here on stream and in chat, we're mature enough to handle some blood and gore and violence, but I'm just too embarrassed with the sexy scenes. Classic case of introverted royalty sneaking off from endless socializing to socialize more. Yep, it is a lot. Perfect. Thank you, Babicus, for also answering too, just in case I missed it. The princess just doesn't like being overseen. Okay. It's gotta be purple? I was thinking either a darker or a lighter shade of blue, like a cyan blue. Or because we've mentioned this before, one of the favorite blue people from classic TV shows was Princess Mira from Buzz Lightyear Star Command, that animated Buzz Lightyear spin-off that Toy Story got. She, I believe, like she tans yellow. So I was considering, I'm like, oh, should I blush yellow as a reference to that? But I don't know, I'm still tossing up in the back of my head. You'd probably be a purple cryptid? Oh my goodness, we're all saying different things. So purple, blue, yellow. This is silly, this is funny. Oh, I forgot I missed that show. Yeah, wasn't it so great? That was one of the classic blue. I loved Princess Mira. I loved her so much. Maybe subconsciously that's why I ended up being blue. Who knows? You just realized Auntie Riri is technically a bluebell lady? Yes! Bluebell represent! Bluebell represent! Well, that's a good problem to have, right? Anyway, so I think I'm all caught up with chat now, right? I think everything's been addressed. But yeah, that's how I view the princess. She's anxious, she's shy, she's a little nervous, she has that anxiety. I was a little bit confused about her continuing to hang out with Barry, but it's not off-putting yet. I would see like what happens in the next few chapters if it feels natural for her to be part of the group here, or if we need to change things around. But that's how she came across to me. Everything else is kind of fine. Nothing crazy yet. Let me go ahead and get out of this. Did we get feedback? Is Blub still awake? Are we starting with the Marauders fanfiction one? It is Blub if Blub is still awake. I know Blub has had issues with staying awake late enough for it to be their turn. I feel so bad. So if I think you might be next to what? It's either... Okay, Chatty Matt. Let me go ahead and delete Chatty Matty from the queue. Delete message. Delete. So it's either what or it's Blub, if Blub is still here. Which I'm not seeing anything yet. Have you had a chance to check out Tales of the Teal Mountain Sect? No, I haven't, because you haven't been here for us to do it. So it's either Blub or yes, Tales of the Teal Mountain Sect is also before Roots' new updated rules. So if Blub does not answer, we could do Tales of the Teal Mountain Sect. Would we like that? Okay, she mostly follows Barry because she got curious and because she figured out, oh, Mom hired this crafter. Yeah, that curiosity is like a lot of your characters, you're depending on like, oh, like it's curious, and then they'll just go into this, that you're making curiosity a really pivotal thing for a lot of characters, and it sometimes we need a little bit more than that. All hail the weave screen. That's right, all hail. One day I'll have a real waiting screen, but for now it's the weave screen. So I'm not seeing anything from Blub, so if Kozetsu, if you think you're gonna be up for a little bit, we could do Tales of the Tiamat insect. Let's see. Do this? Oh, this is like a different thing. Wait, hold on. Is it site? This is like a whole, oh, it's like a whole website. Oh, it's not like a Google Doc, it's like a whole website. Oh, let's see here. Hold on. Why is it not showing here? Hold on. I'm getting it all set up. All the addition to put weave on the real waiting screen. Maybe I can keep it as this crafter's who needs to make my sword. Yeah, but even then, why would that be curious enough for her to like follow along with this girl when like crazy stuff is happening? You guys ever like go along and someone's like obviously going through family stuff, and it just feels awkward? So you're like, I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna sneak out. Also just realized she was near her sword since the parts are in Barry's satchel. That's a cool little detail. Huh? Okay, let me, it's up right now, you guys can't see it. Let's do window. Let's do... Get out of here. Sorry, there's a little pop-up. Hold on, I'm rearranging the screen. I'm making it look all nice. Is that good? But yeah, Koizetsu, if you're up, because I'm not hearing from Blub, I think I took too long. I think they went to bed. So Koizetsu, if you're gonna be up, we can do this one. So we have chapter. This is like an unofficial thing. This looks so cool. There's like background art. Oh, you guys can't really see it. Hold on. See, there's like background art on the side. Isn't that so neat? Isn't that so fancy? Is there another RR writer here? Fellow Royal Road author. What's Royal Road? Is it fanfic? Is it a fanfic? Is it something called Royal Road? I think her stalking Barry in her snake form for a bit might be best so she can be shy and rebellious to the queen. But even then, why is she stalking Barry specifically? You're again having the thing of like, oh, these characters just see the main character and they will particularly stalk her, whatever's plot relevant. And that doesn't always naturally happen. Why is she specifically stalking Barry out of everyone in this city, in this huge bustling city? You know what I mean? Half hour until that paper is due. T, how are you doing? Row. Oh, that doesn't sound good. It's the site you're on. Okay. I didn't know. You just need the actual synthesis and the conclusion. Okay. You think I'll make it in time? A conclusion, and I don't know what a synthesis is. It's just that like the overall, the general. Oh, posture check. Thank you so much. Everyone check your backs, check your shoulders, check your necks, move back and forth, up and down. Everyone relax, everyone unshrimp. Good night. Oh, good night, 10. Have a good night. So I don't know, T, you gotta lock in. You said half an hour? Half an hour. Half an hour. Yep, you can do it. It's the place of original fantasy, Xansia. I don't know if I said that right, my bad. And literature, light RPG mostly. So it feels like it's a genre specific, like a almost role player's guild, but not quite. Eventually it started to add fanfics, and then it went on to have full self-series entries. Oh, how cool. Very happy to be with her. Like this is what blank says, and this is what blank says, and then come up with some idea. Oh. I have no idea. I believe in you, T. You got this. Focus. Lock in. So anyway, we are here. This is my first time on this site. Let's go ahead and check out. Oh, okay. This is the prologue. Koizetsu, is there anything about this you want to let us know in chat? Is it an original? Is it a fanfic? Is it inspired by anything in particular? You can go ahead and let us know in chat. But otherwise, I'm gonna start reading. How long? Oh, it's not a very long prologue at all. This is nice and short. This is easy. Year 658 of the stable era, 14th day of the 4th month. So again, sometimes with timelines and exact dates, exact numbers. Sometimes that can bite you in the butt later. It can be a little tricky. But this one isn't too complicated, and as long as you don't have too wibbly wobbly of a timeline, I think it's fine. So Tales is an original story in the vein of Zanzia. I've read that genre before, but I don't know if I'm actually saying it right. So if I'm absolutely butchering that, I am so sorry. A traditional Chinese fantasy genre. I've read some of the MXTX stories. I've read Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. I think I've read all of their series, Scum Villain, Self-Saving System, and Heavenly Official's Blessing. So I've read all the MXTX books. And I've also started on some others, but I dropped them. I just haven't been able to keep up with them recently. So I've read a little bit in genre. I've read a little bit. Of all the sects that dotted the southern continent of Carano, the Teal Mountain sect had the distinction of being considered by many to be one of the best middle-sized ones around. Founded in the last quarter of the Age of Drought by their first leader, the Strongest Brain. Strongest Brain sounds a little funny. That brain's lifting weights. that brain can bench press us. Sorry. The sect had begun its existence as a body tempering sect, with an emphasis on earth-based techniques. Some timestamps really go year 420 of the 5th of First Era, a second wooden dragon of Third World. Sometimes we can get a little convoluted, and sometimes they even make up, for sci-fi especially, they'll make up new dynasties and ways of a calendar that for a reader, because we don't understand how that calendar works, can almost be more of a hindrance than an assistant in understanding the world. But here, it's pretty. We have days and months, and we have an era and years. Those aren't foreign concepts to us. We know what months, days, and years are. The only real thing is here, it's like, oh, okay, it's an era. And we understand that this sect was made in the last era, which is the Age of Drought, versus the Stable era. Okay. So nothing too crazy yet. For anyone with this style of writing, for the traditional Chinese fantasy genre, this feels like that genre. This style of writing is pretty normal in the genre for what I have read. Tempering sect with an emphasis on earth-based techniques. They were originally known as the Heavenly Stone Body Sect, but that name would soon change after a shocking discovery. While it is still a subject of debate as to whether the discovery of the veins of uniquely teal jade. Oh, thank you so much. I hope you enjoy hanging out with the Cryptid cult. I hope this is a little fun place for you to hang out and relax. Uniquely teal jade under the sect's first Zhao Sheng, I don't know if I said that right, my apologies, was mere fortune, or if the founder had chosen the location because of the stone's presence. The Qi rich stone fueled both the sect's signature techniques and the first feud for their land. Is there any reason in particular that each of the paragraphs are in quotation marks? That's just a quick little question I have for you. Oh, almost all of them. I was just noticing that. The teal jade was jadeite of a remarkably pure quality, which, as many of you know, is highly sought after by craftsmen for its superior ability in holding spells for powerful amulets and spatial rings. A new writer streamer. Yes, I do. I did mostly of my writing. I was live streaming a rough draft all of November. And then since then, while I've done some stuff in the background to get that project off, working a little bit in the background, I actually read your guys' writings, and at the end of it, I offer 1 or 2 critiques for it. But yeah, that's kind of what we do over here. Sometimes I game, but generally it seems like this writing community doesn't really like to watch me game. So I'm kind of sticking in the writing category for now. And doing critiques. I'm actually in the process right now of getting a certificate to be a developmental editor. That way I can offer you guys even better critiques with hopefully better words that explain my thought processes better. So that's what's happening here. There is a reason, yes. Okay, okay. Love to stumble across new writer friends. Hope you have a great rest of the stream. Thank you so much. And hey, hopefully we'll be seeing you around later. So powerful amulets and spatial rings. The fact that the mountain had only been under the Teal Mountain sect's stewardship for a mere half-century prior to the jade's discovery, compounded by the resource shortages endemic of the Age of Drought, led a loose coalition of nearby sects to attempt to seize the stone for themselves. This one, I've noticed it with some of the other sentences. This one in particular feels very run-on. It was a little bit hard to read it naturally. Submit it and then submit the fix. Would you rather just see the edited versions after your class? I might see the edited versions when I'm done, when I get my certificate, and then you'll just send me everything. Yeah, you just send me the as up to date edited as you have for the whole thing, and I'll read it through, and I'll sit on it, and I'll read it through again, and then I'll give you all my notes and critiques. Numbering a mere 14 students and 3 instructors at this time. Oh, so this is really little. The Teal Mountain sect was thoroughly outnumbered by the 7 sects standing against them. However, in an act of uncommon solidarity among cultivators at the time, they were aided in their time of need by a trio of neighboring sects that they had aided in the past: the Profound Hammer sect, the Clear Pill Alchemist, and the Ancient Bones Mystics. They were also assisted by a local branch of the Lee family, who still retains close ties with the sect to this day. By taking advantage of their familiarity with the terrain, they were able to buy time for the strongest brain to set a grand formation, one that threw the invaders back with great force and thunder. Across several further skirmishes, the bonds of companionship grew among these unlikely allies, and by the end of their ordeal, they were sworn brothers. They unified their sects with sworn oaths under the tree now known as the Founder's Willow, and declared their new name to the heavens above. Yes, it was at this moment that they became known as the Teal Mountain Sect. It is to be noted here that recently discovered records indicate that Senior, I'm gonna butcher all the Chinese names, I'm so sorry, Zhao Gang of the Profound Hammer sect petitioned that the Profound sect of Clear Ancient Teal Jade be chosen as the sect's title, a motion that was struck down by the representatives of all the other sects, including his own. In the decades that followed, the Teal Mountain sect slowly grew and expanded through the diligence of its disciples and founders alike. Throughout the remainder of the Age of Drought, it served as a refuge for loose cultivators, small schools, and unaffiliated craftsmen seeking refuge from the constant conflicts that plagued the era. Many of these newcomers would end up officially joining the sect, bringing with them new techniques from all across the continent, and in several cases, across the Great Sea. This stew pot of different teachings and ideas led the sect to develop a strong emphasis on broad study compared to its contemporaries, and is why it still boasts one of the most diverse libraries among sects of its size. The plentiful veins of their signature teal jade served 2 purposes in these early days, as it was both a source of strength and a valuable commodity. While initially traded as raw material, the sect would eventually begin to sell their signature stone primarily as finished works, preferring to entice artisans and artificers alike to their sect with the temptation of being able to work with this rare material. This one's another really long, hard one. While the novelty of such materials has declined in our present era of stability, with the stabilization of the heavens causing the maturation of more and more heavenly treasures, at least 2 of the current heads of the Enchanters Department are believed to have joined the sect during this time period. The sect's core body cultivation techniques also make use of their signature material. For some of the titles, not the titles, thinking of Well, maybe I'm wrong. See, that's why sometimes I think about something I'm about to say and I'm like, actually, no, I'm wrong. I'm just making shit up. Don't listen to me. The sect's core body cultivation techniques also make use of their signature material. The teal jade body technique utilizes large blocks of teal jade to aid disciples in developing the ability to sense chi. I am saying that one right, at least, right? When it's the QI, it's still chi. It's chi, right? I'm not completely butchering that one. In later stages of cultivation, it also used to clear meridians and refine their blood vessels. Chi, yes. Okay. Thank you, Chatty Matty, for double checking me. I'm like, I think I'm saying it right. In later stages of cultivation, it is also used to clear meridians and refine their blood vessels. I think there's a spelling error here. I think the two's here. Teal nephrite, the ore's lesser-known cousin, is also heavily used by the sect, as its weight and resilience make for excellent training implements. Many disciples share unfond memories of strengthening their fist against boulders of the stuff, but its effect on bone and muscle strengthening is undeniable. Get how that's slipping? It happens to the best of us. That's why having a blue person like me read it aloud makes it easier to catch. During the founding of the Zan Empire, the sect took a neutral stance, choosing to distance themselves from the conflict. While the topic of joining either side of conflict was hotly contested by many members, the elders of the sect held firm in their belief that the sect existed to resist conflict rather than to seek it out. That's another long one that can be split up into two. Following the empire's formation, the Teal Sect Mountain would remain an independent entity until little over a century ago, when the 40-year negotiations with the empire over retained autonomy reached an amicable conclusion. Parson, you're a cryptid. That's true. Just got back. Hi, PP. Who are the characters of the story? Right now, for this type of genre, of the fantasy Chinese one, it's not unusual from the books I've read in the genre for it to be this way for the first chapter or the prologue, where it kind of just gives us the broad view, the history. It gives us, like, I know for our stories, a lore dump, quote unquote, is normally bad. I believe in genre, like in the genre, in this setting, in these types of books, it's normal. People in this genre, this is kind of expected format. So you're asking who are the characters of the story. We haven't been introduced to them yet. I don't believe that's unusual for the genre. Have I read wildly in this genre? No. I've read like 2 authors in this genre. Most of them being from one author, and I've read a little bit of another. So take it with a grain of salt, but I believe this is normal here. Fuck, where was I? Presently, the Teal Mountain sect is made up of 7 great mountains, 3 lesser mountains, a minor range of large hills, the 12-li river, 1,000 li of farmland, half of Peach Valley, and a bit of beach. Now, does anyone have any questions? I didn't mean to be that sounded. Just reread my text. I don't think it sounded mean at all. I think you were just asking, like, oh, who are the characters of the story? You know what I mean? Like, it was just a question. I don't think you said that meanly. But if it was mean, thank you for apologizing. That's very nice of you. That's being the bigger person. Why is my character... Sometimes my character's glaring at you guys, and I'm like, I'm not glaring, genuinely. Oh, that's so funny. So if it ever looks like I'm glaring at you while I say things sometimes, I'm not always glaring at you. Sometimes the model's just being funny. Yeah, see, okay, so you thought it was a pretty genuine question. Yeah. We're all good here. Now, does anyone have any questions? The guide looked expectantly around at his group of applicants, many of whom had begun to gaze around distractedly after the middle of his routine. Clapping his hands sharply, he imbued the action with just a bit of the sex palm technique, to give the sound the piercing ring of struck jade, snapping the lollygaggers to attention. This is another one. This is where we're finally getting like some action for my character here, but again, it's a really long sentence. It can be broken up into 2 again. Ahem, he coughed. Now, if you all form a line, This junior will be guiding the way to our position at the practice field. From there, we'll be distributing your test uniforms and registering personal belongings before the opening ceremony. Now, follow me. As the applicants began to form up behind him and the inevitable squabbling about order began, young Lin stared off into the sky and sighed. The sounds of progressively louder name-dropping aside, it was a mostly peaceful day in the sect. He just hoped that it wouldn't take too long to stop the brawl this year. He didn't want to miss out on the opening ceremony bows, a third year in a row. I'm not quite sure what that word means. But that could just be because, again, I'm not the most familiar with Chinese fantasy. So this is a junior. Is that what you said? This junior. So it's a younger member of the sect doing this guide for all these new people, right? Am I understanding it? It's a type of meat bun. Oh, how cool. That's a nice thing to know. I probably completely butchered the way I said it, but that's a nice thing to know. So, it's a younger person, but all the applicants are like new, right? If I'm getting the idea right. So sorry if this doesn't make sense around for, again, we're talking about Chinese fantasy stories here. We actually had it right the first time. The ceremony bows, a third year in a row. But, so this is a junior. Would he address himself as a junior to the new people? Isn't he a senior to the newbies? My deaf eyes heard the sound of progressively louder name dropping. Let me see, isn't that what I said? The sounds of progressively louder name dropping aside. Yes, you are not deaf. That is absolutely right. That is what I've said. Sounds progressively louder name dropping. So the people in the back are like name dropping their connections and their family ties, and they're getting louder and louder. So the name dropping is getting progressively louder. So you heard it right, Triangle. But yeah, because my first thought is one, and this is just something I genuinely do not know. It's actually a form of courtesy to use humility with your own title or experience. Okay. So in that case, he could use junior then. In that case, I'll leave it up to you. You would know better than I would. So he does use junior. That is correct then. To all these newbies. And then my other thought was, may disciples share unfond memories of strengthening their fist against boulders of the stuff. But its effect on bone and muscle strengthening is undeniable. At first I was like, oh, that sounds a little young. That suddenly sounds like the narrator, compared to all the previous paragraphs, is a little young, saying boulders of stuff. But now we actually found out it is a junior speaking. So in that case, I'm wondering if maybe some of the other lines of dialogue could sound a little bit younger. To kind of do, like, he is saying like a lot of facts and figures and stuff, but then sometimes he has this little line drop up like, oh yeah, boulders of the stuff. You know, he could have that little bit of a younger voice. That'll be my first thing of keeping that voice consistent. My lo-fi beats. There we go. That'll be one critique I have, just keeping that voice consistent. And for the second isn't really developmental editing at all. I could do the thing of like, oh, it feels like a lore dump here. I think a lot of people are expecting me to say, oh, it feels like a lore dump. I'm staying with what I said earlier of this feels in genre. If you read wildly in the Chinese fantasy web novels, this is how a lot of them start. It feels correct for this genre. So I will not edit or critique that. I think this is correct. It's right for compared to the other stories. So my other critique then is not that. My other critique is some of those sentences feel very run-on. And even the other ones that aren't run-on are still long. So we have a lot of long sentences surrounded by run-on sentences. I think some of those could be split a little shorter to have a better flow, a better reading flow. Though it's also a bit more culturally leaned. So I think the sentence structure could be more varied to give you the short, medium, long sentences. That would help you a bit. And then, what was my first critique? I forget what my first critique was. Hopefully you remembered it. Borked dialogue and lore dumping are staples of Zanzia. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Yes, it isn't the same if an arrogant young master isn't courting death. So you also read in this genre. Oh, that's good to know, Triangle. I did it with only 4 minutes remaining. Huge congrats, T. Huge congrats. You did it. You should feel so accomplished. You should also feel tired. Hopefully you won't leave too many things to last minute again. But congrats for T. You did it. You did the hard work and you did it in time. That's amazing. It was on character age, though that's a bit of a weird thing within the genre as cultivator lifespans get quite long. That's true. Sometimes even in some of the genres, I think they're even like basically immortal. Like if they're not killed, they basically live forever. So some of those lifespans can get really long. I want to sleep, but I got math homework. I'm so sorry to you. As it's the sort of setting where getting past a few centuries is still the young end of the spectrum. Yeah. So, what was my critique? Sentence structure, varying that up a little bit, turning some of those long run-ons into shorter sentences. And yeah, honestly, I feel like here, where the Young Lin has that slightly younger voice here of like, oh, it's the boulders of stuff. It's just that it's a little bit of like, oh yeah, this is a junior. This is a little bit of a younger person explaining history. I think having a few more versions of that would make that character voice stronger. We could have a few more like even say something like I think or and stuff, like just having a few more little lines here where it sounds slightly younger at the end of all the info dumps, I think would then make Yuling's voice really, really strong. So those are my two things, the voice and then the sentence structure. But otherwise, I think this is very in genre. I think I can't give too many notes about it because I'm not the most wildly read for this genre. But otherwise, yeah, I really like it. Redeem posture check. Oh, oopsie. Hold on, everyone. Roll back your shoulders. Roll forward your shoulders. Tilt your neck back and forth. Unshrimp. Even lean back if you want to kind of reverse the shrimping effect. Lift your head up and down and left and right. Crack whatever bones you gotta crack. Hey, don't worry, I've left out full chapters while uploading to this site. Oh, thank you for the hydrate. Man, you guys are checking in on me so much. Thank you. We're getting our posture checks and our hydrates. Here's your sippy. I'm almost finished with my glass. That's crazy. What is time? Meant to be balancing character voice, age, and consistency with informality, formality, wouldn't it? Is that the new sippy? Snivy? That's not sippy. That's snivy. It can't have a T in front of it. That's just snivy. That almost looks like a fucked up Pokemon name. In my opinion, lore dumps are a failure of storytelling. Whatever setting info you want to splurge is still splurgeable, just make sure it has some synergy with the characters. Like a way you can splurge your worldbuilding is manifesting the specific info into characters. And I think for us, for our versions of books and storytelling, that is absolutely right. If I was reading this in a published novel, like in a Western, is that what it's called? Western book, this would feel very unnatural. When I first started reading Chinese fantasy web novels, it was very off-putting. I almost thought it was bad. I'm like, this feels really unnatural. And once I got past it and I started reading a few more of it, it's normal in the genre. For whatever reason, this is very genre appropriate for Chinese fantasy web novels. So I think it's just a genre thing. So that's why I'm saying it feels wrong to me. It feels wrong every time I open and I've read a Chinese fantasy web novel, even if they've become officially published books. But that's just the trend there. It's what happens with this genre, and a lot of people in the genre like it, and it's part of the theme here. That's why I'm saying I think it's in genre. People who read Chinese fantasy web novels, this is the bread and butter. This is how they start. They give us these little lore dumps in the beginning. So that's just what happens, and that's why having an editor that's in genre is really important. That's why even with stuff with Chatty Matty, I meant sure to mention I'm not a sci-fi reader, and Chatty Matty does sci-fi and fantasy. Oh my god, wait. My blanket's all tied up. Wait, hold on. Ah, I'm stuck. Within genres, prologues have sort of come and gone with the tides over the years. That's true. I feel like very recently we're kind of leaning away from prologues, or we're being very particular with prologues. Before, prologues were kind of like, just like, they were everywhere, regardless if they were needed or not. It's definitely changed. With Zanzia in particular, it's still quite 50-50 these days in terms of old school and new school. Mm-hmm. So you're more experienced. You've read wildly in this genre, then you have more influence than I have. I'm still a little baby reader. I'm just a little baby. There's a priority on setting and environment. My strike, it can be more than what is expected in the genre. There's also being so out of genre that people in the genre no longer like you. If you're right here, like in this example, this isn't all the time, right? We're just talking about hypotheticals here. Let's say we did this like a Western novel, and we were just kind of like submerging, we're spreading the lore throughout the book. We get that intro into the action right away, and our characters right away. For some Chinese fantasy readers, they'd be like, wait, what? It would be off-putting to the people in your genre, and then you lose both audience genres. You lose out on your audience because you're so out of genre. You can sometimes like mix things a little bit, but it can be tricky. The part of it comes down to how far into genre you lean, as a lot of series within space have very generic settings and are almost entirely interchangeable. That's true. Hello. Fell asleep at some point. I think I needed it. Hey, if you need to go back to sleep, that's totally fine. I'm not holding you prisoner here. I mean, I am like a little bit, because you're kind of in the cryptid cult, and like a cult is kind of like a prison. But like, hey, I let you guys sleep. I wasn't accounting for marketability. Yeah. So genres, the reason why we work some things in genre is because there's a fan base for the genre. So if you go too crazy with a genre, sometimes it can be great. Sometimes you can make a whole new genre. It's not bad to bend genre rules, but be aware of straying too far from genre. That's one of the things. Mentioning expectations and breaking is always an interesting talk with Zanzia, since while there is a lot of middle to high popularity series that fall into generic tropes and setting, the big boys of the space are all the ones that use radically different settings that work with varying degrees of loose attachment to traditional ideas of Zanzia. You sound so smart. You sound so smart. Those being things like dulo, or revered insanity, or reverend, sorry, not revered insanity, reverend insanity. I don't know either of those. Would you recommend either of those? I woke up to a prologue talk and I have thoughts about that, so it's funny. Yeah. It is important to note that genre is a form of categorization. So features like the prelude being integral to a genre means that rejecting it immediately moves you further from the market category. Reverend is very edgy. Okay. I'm really liking. I'll reveal what trash I have here. So I got a lot of depression years ago, and I stopped reading because it's really hard to do the things you like reading and writing when you have depression. And the thing that actually got me back into reading was was the trashy boys love. My family calls it, oh, your husband books, because they have the gay husbands, which is the MXTX novels. That's Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, that's Heavenly Official's Blessing, and then I read Scum Villain Self-Saving System, which I didn't like as much, but I finished it. That way I could read all the MXTX stuff. And I just like it because, at the end, like, all this crazy stuff happens, and then my little husbands kiss. So that's what I like. I like that little serotonin dump. I love the serotonin dopamine my little happy husbands give me. So if you ever have any recommendations for more husbands kissing in Chinese fantasy web novels, let me know. Grandmaster sure is one that a lot of people don't realize is Zanzia at first. Really, it has like the different I thought it was very clear. It has all the different sects. It has the different rules in regards to they're flying on swords. They're dealing with the wars between sects and different their magical powers and stuff. That's really interesting. Decently animated show too. I couldn't watch too much of the show. It is gorgeous animation. but it does stray from the plot a lot. Because I guess, what was it somebody described? It's a book about gay husbands and demonic cultivation with necromancy. And when they made the show, they're like, okay, you can't make them gay and you can't show necromancy. And they made the show anyway. So it is a bit different. It's a little bit different when you have the gay necromancy book and you can't make it gay or necromancy. In part, some people watch it more as novelty Chinese cartoon without realizing that donghua has actually been a growing medium for the last while. Oh wait, I'm some of your other stuff. We suggest not reading the Luo, partially because it's fucking enormous, but also because the author really sucks. Oh, okay. With personal political actions he has taken. Got it. When you make the show, you can't make the show about this book. Yeah, the CCP's war on the yaoi half of the genre has been a trip over the last few years. Yeah. So that's been interesting. That's why I mostly just read the novels. And like, I'm aware, I've seen clips of the live action for Demonic Cultivation, which is the Untamed. It's been wild too, because sometimes when they make the live action or the animated versions, they just completely change the names. So Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, the live action's called the Untamed. And people were saying a lot of good things about it, but I just cannot take the live action seriously. And they also changed some stuff again with it. But a lot of people are praising it, so that's good. But yeah, it's getting a lot of recognition. So I think at this point, every single one of MXTX's books has gotten some form of visual adaptation. I haven't seen all of them. I'm actually really keeping up with the Netflix adaptation of the Heavenly Official's Blessing. And that adaptation has been pretty good so far. I really like it. Though now there's supposed to be a live action adaptation, and I don't know. I saw some of the costumes and I'm like, I don't know. It looks cheesy. I don't know. I don't like it. But I like the animated Netflix version of Heavenly Official's Blessing so far. For anyone who does not watch all these Chinese like fantasy stuff, we're probably speaking gibberish. My friend was more of a fan of Messenger than I was. Oh, what's Messenger? But anyway, so I think while this could be off-putting for people outside the genre, I think it works in genre from the little bit I'm aware of. And my most critique was, hey, work on sentence structure flow. Netflix live action department needs to be burned down. Official's Blessing. The World of Warcraft orc just sent me? What? What's happening? Yeah, but I've seen some of the behind the costumes for the live action Official's Blessing, and I'm like, what are they doing? As a costuming major, I got my degree in costuming. I'm like, what are they doing? I don't. Anyway. Don't know much about Chinese fantasy, but I did start watching a Chinese anime called Lord of Mysteries, and that one has like gorgeous animation in it, right? I tried watching, I'll be honest, I just got too confused. It was doing a lot of things and a lot of concepts really, really fast in the first few episodes. So I did stop watching it. But yeah, I did see Lord of Mysteries. Is it a Chinese one? So I'm not sure if it's Chinese or Japanese animation. But I saw the artwork for it. It's fucking gorgeous. Actually, isn't it also... I believe if you like it, it's actually getting an MMO. They're gonna make an MMO of Lord of Mysteries. Can you believe that? Isn't that exciting? So maybe I'll try the MMO later. Mysteries is a donghua Chinese animation. Okay, so it is Chinese. Okay. Wasn't the guy who plays Ragnar in Vikings played in WoW? I'm not sure. Fantastic art. Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous animation. It's beautiful. But yeah, I believe Lord of Mysteries is getting an MMO. Same as like Final Fantasy or World of Warcraft. And it looks insane. I saw some big people look at it, like, it looks insane. It looks beautiful. If you ever want to look that up, that's a thing that's happening. Isn't that cool? How great for the author of that to make that story and then not just get an animation adaptation of it, but then to also get a game based off it. That must be so cool for them. I have no earthly clue how they're going to make that full ludonarrative sense as an MMO. but I sure am going to watch some people take a stab at it. Hey, that works. What time is it? It's a little bit past 1. How long is where did it go? Oh, okay, here. It shows next chapter at the top. No, wait, this is chapter 2? Oh, no, chapter 1 is the prologue. It's chapter 1 and prologue. Okay, okay. So then it's chapter 2. How long is this? Oh, this is a little bit longer. It's a smidge longer. I think to save my voice is feeling a little bit hurt right now because I've been reading for so long. I think we'll stop here. Those are my initial critiques for your prologue / chapter 1. But I think it's on genre, just some minor sentence structure, flow, and then some dialogue that could be bumped up to the next level to sound more in character, to have a stronger character voice. But otherwise, I think it has some pretty good start. And if you would like to resubmit, I could always take a stab at chapter 2 in the future chapters later on. And hopefully you won't have to wait as long for me to critique it. So yeah, if you want to resubmit, I'll be happy to read more in the future. But for now, that's it. Hold on, let me go back to my where's my stuff? My untitled document? There we go. The weave screen. So I'll go ahead and for now, go ahead and delete this. Delete. And then I believe Blub fell asleep. So it's Blub, What, The Big Gamer, Lando, Bobicus, Solar, L, I'm not sure who, 10, What, Lossy Lore. Oh my, I have so many people here. This is becoming such a long queue. Oh my goodness. And again, you already resubmitted. Guys, how am I, dear God. Okay, so right now, is there a limit on length for submissions? There is not a limit, just be aware if it's super, super long, I might not be able to read it all in one go. And is there a genre preference? There's not a genre preference, there is just the awareness that my genre of choice is, or my most experience in, is fantasy. I read mostly fantasy. So if you do stuff outside of it, some of my critique and feedback, I might not know as much about the genre, and therefore I can't give the best advice on it. But I'll still read it, and I'll still give what advice and critique I can. It's not about length, that's how you use it. I'll be real honest. It kind of is a little bit about length, though. Like, I've been with shorter guys, and as long as they're willing to use toys, then hey, we'll make things work. But like, hey, you need a little bit. You need length, or you need to be willing to like man up and like use some toys too. Like, let's be honest here. Let's be real. But what was I saying? I believe Blub fell asleep. The blue woman knows. Well, just because they didn't respond, you know, they weren't awake, so I think they fell asleep. But no, there is no limit on the length. Be aware that if it's super, super long, I might not be able to read all of it in one session, so I'll read for a couple pages, and I'll give my critique on those couple of pages, and then I'll delete it from the queue, and if you would like me to continue reading, then you just resubmit, and I'll continue reading from where I left off, and that kind of just keeps happening. But typically, I try to read a couple of pages. If there are so many grammar issues and punctuation issues that it's difficult to read, I might read only a short amount just because it might physically hurt my eyes. If there's a lot, like every single sentence has spelling and punctuation errors, I might only read a little bit, but I'll still give you critique and advice beyond that. I mean, I asked because if everyone sent a 5,000 submission, that asks way too much of Cryptid. Yeah. And again, if it's like 5,000 words, I read a little bit. I read it like 3 to 5 pages or so. And unless if like the whole thing is 7 pages, that's kind of on the edge where I'm like, okay, maybe I can just finish 7 pages. But otherwise, if it's a longer thing, I read 3 to 5 pages ish. And I give feedback, and if you would like me to continue, that's more than fine, and you just resubmit, and I'll continue reading from where I left off. I'd never asked for 5,000 words. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't expect that all 70 plus chapters of Teal will ever get read here. Well, if you keep submitting, if you submit 69 more times, nice. And then hey, that could happen. Oh, and also preference for format, PDF, HTML, etc. Right now, the thing that's been easiest to load has been Google Docs. So if you haven't had something else, if you just want to copy paste it into Google Docs, that's worked pretty okay for me. That's pretty easy to load up and down. You can try it in any other format, and I'll see if it loads up easily enough. And as long as it works, it works. There's no like anything for that. But I'm just saying, like, hey, what has proven tried and true and it works has been Google Docs. I'll only ask for the whole book after I'm done editing and only at your pace. For China, you're gonna send me the whole book after after I get my editing certificate. You're gonna be my first client. I need reviews if I want to be a real editor. So the behind the scenes, because on and off I've been working on my own story. It's pivoted from the script to animation to a script for a comic. That's what I meant. Okay, perfect. It's past 1 a.m. My brain's not working. The idea that I've had in the back of my head, once I get good, and that's if I get good, because one, who knows, I could be a good little critique partner here on screen, and I might end up being a horrible developmental editor. Who knows? So it's with that in mind. It's pacing, right? But yeah, China Man is gonna end up being my first client, and he's gonna give me feedback on how good my developmental edits are. Is it professional? Is it helpful? Do I give explanations? How does it look like? And I'll have to slowly build my way up. But if I can become a good enough developmental editor where people would actually like pay me for developmental edits, not necessarily you guys, I'll still obviously be doing the free critiques here on stream, but I might have a little side gig where I could be a developmental editor. The money from that could then be used to pay, right? It would be a little budget to get the artist, to get an artist to turn the Three Little Witches into the comic, into a little comic. And then later on, maybe for an animation budget to have little animated shorts. You hope your feedback is helpful enough. Hey, I hope my feedback is helpful enough too, right? We're both gonna be trying some new things here. Might as well dream big. That's the idea, right? It'll be cool. It would be cool if I could have this as an avenue to help pay like artists and stuff to work on my little project. That would be neat. When are you gonna let us get our grubby raccoon fingers on your script so we can provide some thoughts? You know what, honestly, in the beginning when there was just like 50 or so raccoons, not anyone really seemed too invested in mine. Everyone's mostly just interested in getting their own works read and getting critiqued. Not a lot of people were actually interested in critiquing me back. That's why there was kind of the pivot to I just kind of read your guys' story. But if you guys are interested in seeing it and providing your own critique, I would love that. That would be fantastic. It would be really helpful. I could probably, depending on how busy I am this week, I could try to finish a format for a comic this week or so, and then I wouldn't mind posting it in the Discord and see what you guys think. It would be really helpful if you guys give me feedback too. Like I always say, feedback's helpful. I'm not the most amazing best writer in the world. I can demolish your work anytime. Wait, no, don't demolish it. But yeah, I'd love critique and feedback. It would be really helpful. It would be fantastic, especially since script writing's new for me. I normally write like you guys. I normally write rough drafts and stuff for novels, for short stories, for stuff like that. Script writing is very, very new to me, and I first did the script for animation, and now I'm reworking it to be for comic, which is a whole different beast, right? Hopefully maybe even 10, since they work on comics, could provide me feedback. That would be really cool because they have more experience. The witches must be evil as hell. I'm gonna hurt your feelings, joking. Generally, I'm pretty good. I can recognize when some critiques apply, and I can also look at someone's and I'm like, I don't think that critique is valid, right? I'm a pretty big cryptid. I'm 30 now. It's my birthday month. I'm a 30-year-old hag. I can kind of take and I can self-evaluate what critiques are going to help me and what critiques are just kind of being mean or aren't helpful for my goals. Do you know Epic the Musical? I know of it. I haven't really listened or watched it at all. Roots and Mama Cryptid have. Also, you're 32 this month. That's right. And you're Pisces, right? I think you're Pisces. There's a lot of Aquariuses and there were some Pisces. I think you're Pisces. Am I right? Or were you an Aquarius too? I'm forgetting if you're Pisces or Aquarius. That takes a long time for you to respond back, Chatty Matty. I will post my trailer I made for a character soon. Oh, how cool. Old man. Oh, jeez. You are a Pisces. Okay, I remembered it right. You're a Pisces. You guys aren't gonna call me old now, are you? I'm young at heart. I'm a young cryptid. For cryptid years, I'm still really young. You guys aren't gonna call me old now, are you? You guys are gonna be mean to call me old. My age is but flipped. So if you're not 32, you're 23. Seriously? You're a baby. You're a little baby adult, PP. You're a little baby adult. You're 35, so you're an even older man. Hi, Slim. Hello. Welcome on in. Oh my, you can't mind when I have my view screen up. That's not real writing. The kids these days and their epic thing. But yes, welcome on in. We normally spend time here. I read submissions from all my raccoons here in chat, and I give 1 or 2 pieces of critique at the end of it. If that's your kind of jam, then hey, welcome on in. That's what we do here. I'm actually even in a course right now to try and be a real developmental editor so I can offer even better feedback. At least try to. We've just finished up like 2 pretty long submissions. Like we did all of chapter 4 for Sir Chatty Matty, and we did a prologue in chapter 1 for Kozetsu. And that's been what we've reviewed today. Yeah. And you guys also in chat can also provide critique and feedback too, as long as it's nice. We're never here to bully, but we're all here to improve our writing together. So that's fun. There is a Discord. If you ever want to submit your own writing, then there's a Discord link down below, and there's just a place called Story Submissions, and you can submit it. The only rules are no generative AI stories and no spicy, sexy scenes, because I get too embarrassed reading spicy stuff on screen. The way I was introduced by it was just being thoroughly confused about it, as they just kept talking like it was a regular Odyssey. Oh, okay, you were confused. You make trailers for characters on social media, and you use songs from Epic the Musical too. How cool. In 10 years alone, I've lived a lifetime. You'll try to submit something for next stream. That will be awesome. I'll be excited to see it. Some of the older trailers I've made are so old that some stuff in the trailers are just outdated. Oh, like they're no longer like accurate with your work. Oh, that's funny. The youth these days, they are truly frightening. What's the new thing with the youth now? It's the 6'7". Is that the thing? And it's the skibbity toilets. And oh fuck, what's some of the other things? What's the other hip things? Hold on, let me consult my young kid manual, the youth manual. Hold on. Skibbity toilet, 6'7". That one is already faded? What? The fuck you mean that one's already faded? It's here in my notes. It's here in my cool young hip person slang. Hold on. What do you mean? What do you mean it's already outdated? Fuck, what's the new thing? I look away for 1 minute. There's brain rot. Oh yeah, brain rot's the thing. I have that in a page here. It has a little sticky note sticking out the brain rot. During the original, was descended from House Cygnus, but that got changed to House Aquila. We eat elders? I can't believe my cannibalism is ageist. Ageism and my cannibalism in my chat? Jeez. Look at how my raccoons have fallen. These young whippersnappers. It generally, ever since I was like a young person, I think I was like a little bit old at heart. Brain bleach isn't much better. Watch out. Oh no. There's brain bleach now. Wait. Oh no, I feel so behind. It's never a good day to be a 4,000-year-old koi these days. Oh no. Oh, so you've seen it all. You're seeing the passage of time happening really fast. You're an old koi fish, and I'm a very young cryptid. I'm still learning about humans. I have notes. I have note cards about it. And I guess my note cards are already outdated. There's so much to learn about humans. Oh no. Well, I do have a novelette-ish, I think, but IDK if it's good or not. Well, hey, that's what this is for. This is a really nice place to first get your first critiques, to first get those little feelers out. And again, when you're a first-time submitter, I never do an overly harsh critique. We're always never here to discourage or bring anyone down. When you do a first critique, I limit my critique to only two things. And it's the two biggest, broadest things I can think of that will make either your work or your writing reach the next level. But it's never ever mean here. Why? Because we've all written shitty things. Everyone you know who's a famous, like, fantastic author has written shit. I never want you guys to feel bad about writing stupid shit. I write stupid shit. That's why the weave screen is here, so you guys can see stupid shit. I'm never gonna make it sound like I write better than you guys. But part of getting better is getting critique and feedback from other writers, and other people who can help you. And that's what this is for. I can't believe my cannibalism is ageist is a sentence I haven't heard before. Congratulations! We're always having new experiences here, aren't we? So the longer you stay, the more you get hurt. Cryptid tore me to shreds. X out crying. Wee. Just kidding. You ask for it. You're trying to be officially published. I'm trying to help you the best I can. But yeah, Chatty Matty, I do bully a little bit because he is a multi returner. He keeps submitting his stuff for further and further critiques, more thorough critiques. Who else do I bully a little bit? I've bullied Author Relic a little bit, because he is actually a self-published author of multiple books, and he's working on a book series now. So when he submits things, I try to be more thorough to really help him, because he is self-published. He's not traditionally published. He's not going to get those developmental editors. So the more things I can point out in a critique, the more things that will help him in his personal writing career and journey. Bite me, Cryptid, but do it quietly. Yeah, see, that's the joke that happened with Author Relic, because he used quietly a lot in one of his books. So Author Relic gets bullied a little bit. Those are I feel like the most frequent ones so far. I don't really feel like I've bullied too many other people yet. 10 is actually the opposite. That's our comic writer, and I always worry that I think they don't have enough confidence in how amazing their scripts are. So I always blah 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 blah, if I can speak. I always actually have to talk them up a bit, because I don't think they realize how amazing they are and how talented they are. So that's actually one of the things where I had to do the other thing. I point out some critiques, and then poor 10 actually thinks it's bad, and I'm like, no, this is incredible. These are just very minor edits to help bring your work to the next level. But 10's very talented. You're banned from using elegant, that's right. Because you were using it wrong. Who else is here? But yeah, the more you guys submit, the more I get a sense for like what you as an individual writer need. And I try to tailor a little bit for that. To help you guys out, because I really like seeing you guys. I get a feel for what your weaknesses are in your writing, what things you're very good at in your writing. How do I submit it? There is a Discord. If you need me to, maybe I can even pull it up. But there's a Discord, and you just read the rules real quick. It's not any crazy rules. It's just all of us being nice and friendly to each other, right? We're all going to be good raccoons. And then the only rules for the story submissions are no generative AI and no spicy, sexy scenes, because that's too embarrassing for me to read. But then in the Discord, there's a section called Story Submissions, and you just submit your work there, and you're added to the queue. And then I go from the top of the queue down, and whenever you're in, so I'll be like, oh, is Blub here? And if Blub responds in chat like, yes, I'm here, then you get read. But if Blub is not in chat, then I move on to the next person and the next person until you're here. So I'll never read and critique your work without you being here in chat again, because I think it's really beneficial for you to be in chat and we can like talk back and forth a bit, because I might have a question. I'm like, oh, did you intend for this character to come across this way? And you might be like, oh yes, or oh no, and we can have that back and forth, and we can figure stuff out. You might even have questions for my critique. You might be like, oh, when you say this, do you think it will be fixed if I do this instead? And we can go back and forth a bit. But if Blub is asleep, he gets executed. No, he does not get executed. I'll just poke fun at him next time, and then whenever he's next in, I'll make sure to read his story, because poor Blub's been waiting. Poor Blub's been waiting so long, since December, because we just keep missing each other. Bring Blub to the guillotine. Oh no, poor Blub. If Blub gets guillotined, we'll never get to critique their work, though. That's so sad. But yeah, that's it. So whenever you're in, you're added to the queue, and I'll work my way through the queue, and next time you're in, then we can read it, and we can have critique time. But it's I try to be a really nice opener to getting critiques. A lot of writers have never shared their writing with a group before. Some people even ever. So I try to be a really nice, like, beginner place to get your first critique. Let me bring him to the critic guillotine. uh, Let me try to find a way to send it. Even if you need to like copy and paste it into like a Google Doc, the easiest way for most people has been a Google Doc. And then if you do some other format, and when time comes, if I have trouble loading it, I'll let you know, and you can try sending the document a different way. But so far, if you want to know what's worked the best, it's these little Google Docs. Blue Woman is a gateway drug of critique. Noted. Honestly, if I am the gateway drug, quote unquote, of you guys feeling confident and brave to go to more critique circles and share your writing with more people and get more feedback and get your writing out there more, that would be fantastic. That would be amazing. I would be so proud if anyone like years from now ever came back and said, oh, because Cryptid critiqued my work, that was the gateway into me reaching out and becoming part of more writer circles or more critique groups or getting more feedback or posting my fanfic online, whatever it is. That would be incredible. I think that would be the biggest compliment anyone could ever give me. If the time comes and there's trouble opening your work, you get executed as well. So much executions. Oh no, my little raccoons are so violent. What did I expect? The Blue Woman group. Oh, instead of the Blue Man group, it's the Blue Woman group. The funny thing, I have a Google Doc of something I'm printing out for my medical stuff. It's a literal Google Doc for your medical stuff? Is it something that you wrote up? Or is it something that the doctors gave you and they put your medical stuff in a Google Doc? Because if it's the doctor sent you that, that's insane. That's genuinely insane. Oh my god. An advance directive? Oh, so it's something from the doctors? They sent you a directive? That's crazy that your doctor just sent you Google Docs. I've never seen that before. That's crazy. Violence isn't the answer. Yes, it is. Violence is the question, and the answer is enthusiastic consent. Yeah, my big thing with a lot of our problems in society is, maybe this reveals too much about me. I'm like, if violence doesn't solve your problem, you're not using enough violence. Or you're not being creative enough with your violence. Violence can absolutely solve a lot of problems. Anyway, that reveals too much about Cryptid. That reveals too much about me. That's why there's knives hidden all over our house. That's our security system. A lot of knives, rusted knives everywhere. That way, in case we die, at least we got a good rusted knife hit in, and you still have to go to the hospital. So hey. Oh, it's you telling the healthcare providers how I want my hair handled. Okay. I was gonna say, if the hospital sent you a Google Doc, that's crazy. Or a living will. Got it. I think Papa Cryptid had to do a lot of that stuff during his cancer diagnosis stuff when he was still in the hospital for that. I had the first chapter of it in a Google Docs. I'll send it if you guys liked it and want the whole story. I'll send it later. Nice. Yeah, that totally works. And it's not, I don't want you to think like if it's me liking it or not. Like, that's not what anyone here is that's not the requirement for anyone to keep sending their work. It could be, this is just flat out, it could be the worst thing ever. I could hate it. I could be like, nope, this makes me miserable. And will I still take the time and effort to read it and give you valid critique beyond just I don't like it? Yes, I absolutely will. Because you took the time to write it and you're taking the critique and the writing seriously. I will always show up and I will read it and I will give you feedback and critique that's actually helpful, and not just me. I won't be a bully about it. I will give you valid critique. To me, that's just a respect thing. If you're respecting me and you're trusting me enough with your work, I'm always gonna show up and I'm gonna be legit and I'm gonna take it seriously and give you feedback. And I could not like it at all, and I will still give you absolute permission to keep sending me chapters, and I will keep giving you critique and feedback on those chapters to elevate the writing into what you want. I'm never gonna make it into something I want. I want to make it the best writing you could accomplish. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents. Hello, Nevermore. It's good to see you. Quoting Kenpachi at 1 a.m. is wild. Like Kenpachi Zaraki from Bleach. What was the quote? What was the quote? Oh, the violence thing? Funnily enough, Kenpachi Zaraki from Bleach was actually Papa Cryptid's favorite character. That was Papa Cryptid's favorite character. On another note, I'm neurospicy still, but I'm no longer under a single diagnosis. Oh, interesting. I'm going to be tested with ADHD, PTSD, OCD, and acute anxiety. Oh, I'm so sorry, Chatty Batty, for that cocktail. That is not a fun cocktail. But the doctors are also testing me for insomnia because they had to to throw an insult at me. Oh no. Okay, thank you. Yeah, and that's not specifically at you, Slim. I haven't read your work yet. That could be the most amazing thing ever. You could be the next most famous author in all of creation. But I know a lot of my raccoons here, when they're first submitting, have that anxiety of like, oh, if my work's bad, will Cryptid make fun of me? Will these other people in chat make fun of me? And first of all, one, I will not make fun of you. I might poke fun at your characters. Chatty was over here, like, and I was saying, like, oh, why is Barry over here? The little ADHD, she's left her mom. Your character's wandered away over here. Why isn't she staying here? I might poke fun at your characters. I will never make fun of you. Um, and two, if any of my raccoons are misbehaving, I do check them. I never want you to think chat's gonna be mean to you. If anyone in chat is being mean, I do check you. I will delete mean comments. Thankfully, no one has done that. It's been an amazing few months in this section of Twitch, and everyone here has been absolutely wonderful and amazing. So I'm really happy with the community we're building here. Sure, Chatty, you're a neurodivergent who can't sleep. Sounds so lovely. Chatty Maddie, stop having the same experiences as me. My life is supposed to be a unique experience, and you and me are just copying each other. Oh. Barry's a distracted puppy. Yeah. And I think when we like square up some of those scenes into a better order, I think that's gonna come through more, and I think she's gonna become a very likable, very what's the word here? What's the words? Hold on, it's past 1 a.m. I'm struggling with words. She's gonna become a very when readers can put themselves in a character's shoes very easily. People are gonna be able to connect with her well. Once we straighten up some little things, once we do that developmental edit, I think she's very likable. I think she's going on this cool adventure, and I think because she does have that ADHD, because she is distracted, because she is ambitious, but she's also like nervous about stuff. Relatable. Thank you, Kozetsu. It's not even a hard word, and it's just past 1 a.m., so my brain forgot it. Thank you, raccoons, for having a brain for me. But I think she's going to be a very relatable character that people are going to enjoy reading and following the story of. You still need to describe more shit in your thing. I love the description. I still need to describe more shit in my thing. That's, as you see with my weave screen. That's exactly the type of thing I do too. If the story is not good, please say it with any words you want. At least I would know. And I might say, like, something could be not good for specific reasons. Like a plot, something could be not good because a plot doesn't make sense. Like the plot doesn't make sense, right? So I'm not gonna tell you, oh, this thing sucks. I'm gonna tell you, hey, the plot doesn't make sense right now. Is there a way we can reorganize this plot so it's more coherent, so it makes more plausible sense? I'm never just gonna tell you like something generic like, oh, this thing's shit. I'm gonna tell you, hey, this part needs work. This thing doesn't work. This doesn't work. And I'll be upfront with you with what I think doesn't work. But I'll always say in a nice way. But yeah, I will be honest. You don't have to worry about me sugarcoating. Well, maybe not sugarcoating. I will be honest about what needs to be fixed. I'll say it in a nice way. So in that case, I am sugarcoating it a little bit, right? Because I want to be a nice critique place for you. But I'm not going to be dishonest. I will be very honest and upfront with what I think needs to be changed or how it can be changed. Book 2 is a big joke about her robot mom. I had to find this pelt. Book 2 Berry. You touch my robot baby and you die. But yeah, otherwise it is almost 2 a.m. over here. It's past 1:40 in the morning here. We've gotten some really great critiques done. We've welcomed some new raccoons in, and some people are already submitting their stuff for next stream. I'm excited to read some of our future raccoons' work here. King Cal, yeah, Chatty Matty. I wish a lot of luck to Chatty Matty. Chatty Matty has really big goals for their work, and that's one thing. But to actually be doing the work to accomplish those goals is another. Chatty Matty is getting these books written. He's getting the rough drafts done. He's doing the drafting. He's doing the edits. He's doing the critiques and implementing them. Chatty Matty is doing a lot of the actual work that's needed to succeed. So I wish a lot of good luck for Chatty Matty because you're doing the work. And I'll always be upfront by that. I always see the work that you're doing. I think that's great. But otherwise, it is late/early morning for Cryptid. So I think I'll go ahead and end it here for tonight. But thank you all so much for showing up, for hanging out with me, for supporting all of our other raccoons who had their stories read today. You do a lot of work you haven't even submitted. Oh my goodness. People already submitted some next, and that there isn't 2 streams worth of backlog already in there. Yeah, I've mentioned before, I might have to do a thing. I'm currently, every other day I'm streaming. I might have to do a thing where I stream every day for a couple days, just so I can catch up. Wish I'd gotten here earlier. It's okay, we'll still get to you. I never want you guys to think like, oh god, it's gonna take forever. I'll be possibly rearranging my schedule soon. That way we can work through the backlog a little bit sooner, because I know people are waiting, and I want to take that seriously. The stream was epic. Can't wait to come back next time. Thank you. I'm a little embarrassed now. This model can't blush, but thank you. I'll be looking forward to you. Currently, I'm streaming every other day, and in the Discord, I'll let you guys know when I add in those extra streams to catch up with the backlog. But otherwise, thank you guys for hanging out. I enjoyed having you all here, and hopefully I'll see some of you raccoons next time. Otherwise, have a good night. Stay warm and cozy, because a lot of places in the world is a Friday the 13th special? Oh wait, is it Friday the 13th? Holy shit, it will be Friday the 13th soon. Holy shit. Now we gotta do that, don't we? Streams become rivers to spread the cryptid shivers. Hi, Lotus Dive. First of all, I don't think I saw you earlier, so it's good to see you. But yeah, otherwise, I think, oh man, now I'm really excited about a Friday the 13th stream. That sounds fun. But otherwise, everyone stay comfy and cozy, stay warm wherever you are, because a lot of places are chilly right now. And I will see you guys next time. Goodbye!